Okay. Blah. I think we're going. That's not possible. Alrighty then, I guess. All right. Right. All right. Crap. It's driving me crazy. Sorry. Why is it doing that? I do not know. Anyway, welcome in, welcome back, welcome to, welcome through the kingdom of the ape. That's me, the apostate ape. And this is the channel where you can watch an undereducated hick from Alabama perform an intellectual takedown of the Christian faith, doctrine, and logic for your entertainment. But also, hopefully, and more importantly, to make the world a little bit better place by combating the ridiculous rise of this ridiculous Christian smassionalism, which is basically a bunch of Christians with a bunch of power and a bunch of money who think they have some kind of divine right to make other people's lives miserable. And we here on the right side of history will not stand for such things. So that's why we're here, and that's why we do this. To combat Christians trying to bring things like slavery back into the world and manifesting destiny and shit. Which basically means, if you didn't know, a divine right to steal through conquest. And we can't do it. And that's why I started this channel. That's why we're here. That's what's up. That's what's happening. That's right. Y'all, don't forget that the best friend of this channel and the source of the scholarly knowledge here is a Dr. Joshua Bowen. And he has an entire website where he puts his brilliant scholarly knowledge of the Bible, especially in the Old Testament, his knowledge of ancient languages, all on his website, digitalhammurabi.com. So if you're into learning about these things from scholars that are amazing, make sure you check out Dr. Joshua Bowen and his amazing work at digitalhammurabi.com. Also, don't forget to mark them calendars for this October, because the 23rd, the 24th, and the 25th, the Rocket City Reason Conference is going down in Huntsville, Alabama. And if you're into traveling, you're into having damn good times, you're into deconstruction, learning some shit, hanging out with the coolest motherfuckers that ever lived, then you should come and you should hang out with us, because it is going to be awesome. So, if you want to come hang out with us for that, get your tickets for that at rocketcityreason.com and get yourself on the list of the party people there. It's going to be awesome. Make sure you can come to that. The human sacrifice is tested test. Never sacrifice. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Well, we got a few in the queue. We got the pleasantries out of the way. Let's see. Zach, what's up, dog? Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Hello. It's Zach Laser Hoffman. Soul John, you there?
Hello.
What's up, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm good. I can hear you.
Cool, cool. Are you a Christian?
Yes.
Cool, cool. So, if you're against slavery, human sacrifice, and injustice, why are you a Christian?
Uh, because I'm a follower of Christ. According not only not beyond and according to the Bible, Christians should not do these things.
According to the Bible, God orders you to do those things.
That's yes. In the Old Testament, yes, it did happen.
Yeah. So, not good, right?
No. Like you literally, these things can literally be judged in our eyes, yes, but in the perspective of God, it becomes different. Like I could give you an example.
Sure.
Okay. You American, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, like, America, you have your own set of moral standards, right? But those moral standards are different from another country. Those moral standards are different from another country, and you
Sure.
guys have a very superior army, and we have a very like a very weak army. You guys come in and fight us, and you kill us, and there are people that are killed that are innocent that never wanted this war. But in this war, America brings peace into a country which was starving, or which was like maybe corrupted. So in your eyes, who is the good guy here and who's the bad guy?
Probably the one who's getting attacked.
Okay, so in this thing, America brings like prosperity to this country that was corrupted, and actually saves more people than the people that died. But there are people that died for nothing. So how does a
Yeah.
human judge who's good and who's bad here?
I don't know. Never thought about it.
See that? See
I
now
judge
now
God in the Bible by him letting people own slaves and beat them and ordering human sacrifice and
no, no,
injustice.
no, I agree with you. Those things did happen. I'm saying, imagine that perspective. Now imagine God, who, like, according to the Bible, says, "I'm the beginning and the end." He's not only seeing you right now; he sees your past. He sees your future. Everything is like a strand in his eyes, in his mind. Like, this will result in this. Like, you maybe hitting that guy might result in something, and you maybe not doing this might result in something. We don't know the path of God, so I cannot judge him. I can say that slavery is
I
bad.
can judge him because he's like setting innocent children on fire and shit. You don't think that's evil?
Oh, no. Like, okay, like in maybe in your human perspective, yes, that can be evil, but according to the Bible, God is the source of all things good.
Well,
Like
it's not
you,
good to
like,
set children on fire, is it?
okay, is AI evil?
I'm talking about God setting children on fire, man. Is that evil?
Yeah. No. I literally just answered you.
It's not
I
evil.
told you, in your eyes, that is evil, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the person that say you said, like, children, like, for example, you someone like attacks your family, like, attacks your children, whatever. Then you go and revenge, try to kill him. You bomb his area, but in that area you kill some innocent people. Are you good or are you evil?
I'm evil. I killed innocent people.
So what about the people that killed yours? Are they good or are they evil?
What about them? That's them getting theirs. What did the innocent people have to do with it?
No. Like, I'm trying to prove to you that you are seeing things according to your eyes, not according to
I already
everyone's
know.
eyes.
You don't have to prove to me. I'm saying them according to my eyes. I get it.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're judging God according to your standard, but God is
Yeah.
above the standards. God, that's a concept. God is above
It's
the
not above
concepts
my
of standards.
standards. My standard says he's killing innocent kids, and that's evil.
No. But what is your base of
Why in the
morality?
world
That's the
would you
thing.
put him above your own standard? How can you judge anything
No,
if you don't have a standard?
no, you can, brother. A standard is under a concept of morality. Like, what is the basis of morality?
I don't know.
What's moral to you? Is
Doing the
slavery
right
moral?
thing.
Okay. Like, what
Like
if doing the right
killing
thing to
kids is
you?
not moral to me, and it never will be. So could you
Yes.
square that up?
Okay.
Like,
Okay. I will clear that up.
you're
Like,
asking me a lot of questions about me, but you're not answering any questions I'm asking you about God. Do you think it's evil when
okay.
God kills an innocent children or not?
In my own eyes and perspective, I cannot judge God. I can
You
only say
can
what I
judge
see.
God. Do you
I
think it's
can't.
evil to kill innocent children or not?
I can. If a human kills a children, yes.
Okay, so what if the god Ashur or Marduk kills innocent children? Are they evil for that?
I don't know this God. I only know one God.
You don't have to know him. It's just a god named Osher. He's killing innocent children. Is it evil or is it good?
If he's not the one and only God, anything else is evil. It's not
So you give
God
your God a
actually.
pass when your God kills innocent children. He's cool to
No,
do it.
no, 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 no,
But
no.
any
You're
other
getting it wrong.
God and any other human, it's evil, right?
I do not give my God a pass. He makes the standard. Everything. The person you're telling
If
is
God, if
killed.
you
He
think killing
created.
innocent children is evil, and God does
Who?
that, and you do not
Okay.
hold him accountable, you are in fact giving God a pass for evil.
Okay. So tell me this. You were saying this God, the one who created the people. You're saying is taking away.
Yeah,
You see what's happening.
yeah, same killing innocent children.
Okay, so you saying the person who created. That's why I give you a good example. Do you think AI is evil?
No.
Okay, if AI actually kills person, it's not evil. It kills children.
I,
It's not
I
evil.
don't know what you mean by AI killing children. I have no idea what that
Artificial
means.
intelligence. Artificial
If it
intelligence.
killed innocent children, yeah, it's evil. It'll always be evil.
Okay,
You can't
so
get me
does
to
it mean
say killing
humans are
innocent children isn't evil. It won't happen.
no?
Whether it's
I'm
AI or different gods or humans or your God, it doesn't
brother.
matter.
I get what I'm saying. I'm saying if it's AI, who created AI? It's humans, right? So are humans evil?
They can be, yeah.
No, no, no. Like, so all humans are evil because they are the creators of AI.
If they
Humans are
created AI knowing it was going to do harm, yeah, that would be evil.
no. You don't understand. AI doesn't have a moral scale. AI. That's why I gave you example of AI. AI doesn't have a moral
Okay,
scale.
does God have a motor skill?
No, a moral scale. He's beyond the concept of morals. He is the beginning
He's not to
of
me,
right.
he is to you, but I'm holding him accountable for all the innocent children that he murdered. I'm wondering
Okay.
why you think that's okay for him.
No, reason why I say it's okay because you just told me that I do and you don't. So according to me, my God is the beginning of everything. Everything. So
Yeah, well,
they
your God murders innocent children. You don't think it's evil when he does that?
I clearly told you that I don't see that as God cannot be evil.
Well, then you're
According to the
turning a
Bible.
blind eye to evil, or you just have no capability to judge evil. Then
Okay, the thing is now it comes down to because you're talking about God here. If you were talking about the Maduk thing, yes, we would say
you know,
that.
I'm talking
But you're
about
talking
God.
about
He kills innocent children, and I don't mean one or two. I mean a lot.
yeah, dude, he killed the whole.
Innocent children. You get that, right?
Yes, he killed the
You
whole country.
understand my frustration?
No, no, no. Oh no. Wait, tell me how many things have you killed
I
that
haven't
God
killed any
created in
innocent
love?
children.
Like
Zero.
no, 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 no,
Zip.
no. I'm saying
Nada.
animals. I'm saying animals. Animals,
I don't
whatever.
know. Kill
Even
some bugs.
exactly. What to God? That's all creation to Him. You are a
So,
murderer to Him. You're a
so
murderer
we're
to
talking
Him.
about babies. Why are you
No,
asking me if I'm killing
no,
bugs? We're talking about God killing
no.
babies.
I told you your moral scale is dependent on human view. I'm
I
saying how
know.
many
If you
things
would
have you
use
killed?
yours, that would be great.
No,
Why would
I'm
you turn a
using mine.
blind eye to atrocities like this, man?
You just told my God is an injustice God. Like he
It
loves
is
injustice.
unjust. He's killing innocent children.
I've
That's the
just proved to
opposite of
you.
justice.
I just proved to you that all these people, all humans who have reached a certain age, even 20, have killed certain things, even smallest things. But you
We're
don't care
not
because it's
talking about
animals.
humans. We're talking about the God that you worship, the standard of
Yes,
all, the creator of all.
yes,
This God
yes.
is doing evil things. How come you don't realize that?
That's what I'm telling you. The creator of all doesn't have the moral scale. There is no evil to
He
that.
he does. He kills innocent children. He's doing something evil. When he
What's
says you're not supposed to do that, it's bad. It's bad to visit
yes,
the iniquity of the
humans,
son onto
humans,
the
right?
father or the father onto the son. God says those things
Okay,
are bad and then he does
okay,
them. That makes
okay.
him bad
Tell me this.
and a
If
hypocrite.
God, okay, I'll make it very, very simple for you. If God, the creator, goes and kills like a school full of children, that is you're saying that the base of evil, right?
Yeah, don't you think so?
What is according to the Bible, what does God say about creation?
I don't know. It says it's precious and you shouldn't kill it, and he
No,
does it.
God. Okay, no, okay. Sorry.
Oh, he
Okay,
don't
sorry.
say that. Does he say
Okay,
it's worthless?
no.
It
God
says dirty
actually,
sinners.
God actually says that all creation comes from Him and will come back to Him. So a person dying is actually a process that's coming back to Him. He's actually doing what he's supposed to do. Was being on this earth is actually
Oh, so when he destroys wicked people, they get to go to heaven?
no. You see what I'm saying? He said
Uh,
wicked people.
yeah.
They are
According to
they're
God,
under
when he killed the
they're
babies, they
under
were wicked.
what?
God killed babies and called them wicked. He killed them for sin. They were
Okay,
wicked
if
babies, according to
exactly,
God.
if they were wicked,
Exactly.
they will little go to hell. By the way, everyone before Jesus Christ came would go to hell, to paradise or whatever, which is part in hell, until Jesus came and freed us for us to be able to be judged to go to heaven near the end of time, whatever. So it wouldn't change. It wouldn't change. Back then, everyone would go to hell because the wages of sin is hell, is death actually, and they will lead to
That's not
hell.
what the Bible
So
says. That's only what Paul says. God never says
no,
that. John doesn't say
what
that. Jesus doesn't say
what
that.
what do you mean? What do you mean Jesus doesn't say that?
He doesn't say the wages of their sin. You don't
Is
die for
death.
every sin. That's crazy.
What you actually is in the Bible, bruh. It's actually said by almost by everyone.
Really.
Yeah.
What does verse 17 on the screen there say?
17, 14, 15, 16, 17. All wrongdoing is sin, but there is sin that is not deadly. Yes.
So the wages of sin isn't death for every sin, is it?
Okay, what do you think that means? Let me show you
I
what
think
it
it
says.
means that there are sins that are not deadly, that you don't deserve to die for them.
No, okay. Okay.
That's what it says. It says there is sin that is deadly. I do not say that you should pray about that. All wrongdoing is sin, but there is sin that is not deadly, is what that says.
That's what I'm trying to correct you. I understand your
Oh, you
misunderstanding
mean
there.
you're
It
trying to
says
correct John?
no, look, I'm trying to correct
Well,
you.
that's what
I'm
John
saying
says.
if someone kills someone, that person doesn't need die there. So the
Well, that's
wages of
murder.
sin
That's a
isn't death.
deadly sin. The wage of
No,
that sin is death, but not the wages of all
no,
sin.
no. You're not getting it. The wage
Okay,
of
well, what
killing a
did the
person.
babies that God murdered do to sin?
Okay, no. Well, okay, I'll answer that one. Let me say the wages of sin is death. Doesn't mean when you do that sin, you die there. If that happens, everyone will be dead. The wages of sin means if you die with a sin. You see, if you die with a sin, what is death to God? Is Gehenna, is hell. So the wages of sin is death. It's someone who has already sinned. You're already putting yourself to death, or even like or whatever, separating yourself from God. So that is the wages of sin is death.
Yep.
So
So why
that's
does
why you
God
see.
kill people that didn't sin?
How do you know that they didn't sin?
Because the Bible
Because only
says
Jesus
so.
was perfect. Only in the
Nope, the
Bible,
Bible
only Jesus
says
was
so. That's
perfect.
not true. The Bible says so.
No, no, only Jesus was perfect. The Bible
That's not
says that.
true. Not true. No, it don't.
Oh, okay, let me show you.
There is righteous
Can
people
I?
in the Bible. It says
Can I?
Zechariah and
No, no.
Elizabeth lived
You're,
perfect and
you're,
blameless in the sight of the Lord
you're,
according to all his
you're,
commands, statutes, and decrees. So they were completely righteous. They didn't do anything wrong. Job was completely righteous. There was a guy in John 9 who was born blind, and neither him nor his parents had sin. Yet he was born
let me
blind.
let.
So
It's okay. Let me show you the difference. Let me show you the difference. What the Bible says about Jesus and
I know what it says. I've read it before. I
what
read
does it
it
say
every
about
day, actually.
Jesus? Yeah, what does it say about Jesus?
In regards to what?
Being the only one who's perfect.
Well, if it says he's the only one that's perfect, then you got a nice contradiction there because there is other people that's perfect, like Job and Zechariah and
There's
Elizabeth.
brother. That's what I'm telling you. It's
That's
it's
what
it's
I'm
a
telling
it's
you.
a it's your Jesus according to the Bible.
If it says Jesus is perfect because he's never sinned, and there's also other people who's never sinned, then that means they're perfect too, doesn't it?
No, you don't understand. You don't
Does
understand.
perfect mean
Is
you have
only
never sinned?
no. Okay, you see, you're just quantifying this thing. Yes, if Jesus never sinned,
Is
He
that
was
what perfect
perfect.
means?
But not only
Okay,
that,
then Zechariah and Elizabeth were perfect too because they didn't sin. They
he
lived
was not
perfectly
only
and
he
righteously
was
and
not only
blameless in the eyes of the Lord.
okay. The Bible, there is called something that is called absolute sinners. But because the thing is, the thing is, because Jesus is God who incarnated on earth. He didn't have the heart of man. He had the spirit of God. That's the difference. The Bible says the heart of man is already full of sin and darkness. So you get it. When a human is born, when you're born, all of you are born with some form of sin because your heart is dark. The Bible states this. But Jesus was literally not only sinless, but morally perfect.
He ain't
Which is
morally perfect. They
absolute
kill
sin.
kids. I don't know why in the world you would call that morally perfect when they're
Jesus
murderers.
killed kids.
Yeah.
Jesus killed kids.
Yeah.
When did Jesus kill kids?
Matthew 15. And he
What
says
is
he's
what,
going to kill kids
what
in
is
Revelation 2. He says, I will kill her and her children with death.
so wait. So did he kill or is he killing?
The law of God says to kill kids under certain circumstances, and Jesus chastised the Pharisees for not putting their disobedient or bad-mouthed children to death, like God told them to.
So you have to correct yourself here. You say Jesus killed kids.
He advocated for killing kids.
Okay.
And if he's God, he definitely killed kids, didn't he?
Yes.
Is Jesus God?
No, yes. But the thing is,
is Jesus
you
God?
are taking your own views and
right. Is Jesus God?
Okay.
Is Jesus
Yes.
God?
Okay, brother.
Okay, well then he killed kids.
Yes.
Yeah. He killed David and
brother.
Bathsheba's infant son. He drops Korah and his children straight into Sheol. So.
Brother, tell me this. If you are judging God, it means that you're putting yourself in a perspective where you can judge God.
Yeah.
What does
I'm
the Bible say about?
I'm calling him out for murdering innocent children. That's not even hard. You should join me.
The Bible talks about this kind of person who does this.
Who calls out people who murder innocent children?
No, who calls out people who try to judge people. But these people are
I'm judging God.
You're judging your creator, someone who created you.
Yeah, because he's killing innocent children for something they did not do. Why in the world would I think that's some kind of loving act? Why should I think that's anything but evil, which it is?
No, but okay.
It's not evil when God killed innocent children to you.
Of course, God is not evil.
Yeah, but he killed innocent children. If he kills innocent children, that means he's evil, doesn't it?
Brother, you said you read the Bible. The Bible.
Yeah, you want me to read you where he kills the kids?
Do you understand why he was saying this? Yeah, I read the verse. Do you understand why he did that?
Yeah, it tells you why.
Why?
Well, in David and Bathsheba's story, he kills the baby because David committed adultery with Bathsheba.
Okay, so what? Oh, see, that's very good, very, very good. Now you're understanding one of the things I'm asking, because not only that, it means he broke some form of law. He broke some form of law.
Right? Yeah, David committed adultery, so God killed a baby. Yes.
So he broke God's laws, right?
Yeah, David broke the laws, not the baby.
Exactly.
But the baby's the one who got killed, and 10 of David's wives get raped for this.
What does the Bible say about? What I would say when your father breaks, when the father breaks some sort of law, for example,
it says the son shall not. I shall not visit the son, the iniquities of the son onto the father, or the father onto the son. So God said it's wrong when you punish a son for the sin of the father. Yes, He did.
No, I'm not saying that it didn't happen. I'm saying that's
okay. So if God says it's bad to punish the son for the sin of the father, that's exactly what God did here. He punished the baby because David committed adultery.
I'm not saying that. I said that is not the only law. There are various laws. That is not the only law. Because it
doesn't matter. What law did the baby break that got murdered here? What was the baby's sin?
Okay, fine. If you, I'll answer that. What was the Egyptians' sins?
What was the baby's sin that God killed?
The baby was in the bloodline of David. He broke the law, so the father was punished.
So what law did the baby break?
What do you mean? What law did the baby break? I don't know all those laws. I
You
don't know
just
all
said the
the laws.
baby broke a law. So what law did it break?
What did God kill the baby?
Yes.
Yes. So there's something that happened. God doesn't do that. Something with the
Yeah,
Bible.
something did
You
happen.
know, you read the
David
Bible.
committed adultery with Bathsheba, so
No, I'm
God
saying.
killed the
I'm saying.
baby.
Yes. What? So what did God say when it would happen? When you broke the law?
He says, you will be punished when you break the law for what you did. But he
Yes.
doesn't do that. He punishes the baby for what David did. And he punishes 10 other women who had nothing to do with it by having them raped.
Why? Why did he do that?
Because David committed adultery.
Exactly.
Exactly. So what did the
Yes.
10 women who were raped do to deserve being raped because David committed adultery?
It was literally the punishment, brother. You were talking
I know
about law.
that. I know it was the punishment.
No.
The point is, it wasn't the
No.
punishment for something they did. God
No.
punished them for something someone else did. This is called
Brother.
evil and injustice, sir.
Brother, there is physical law and spiritual law. You do know that, right? You said you read the Bible.
Yeah.
So why are you thinking he only just broke only one law? Do you know that?
What law did the baby break, John?
Okay, what law did David break? I'll answer
What?
that.
Adultery. What law did the baby break?
That's not only the law he broke. By the way.
Okay, he committed adultery and committed murder.
Okay, that's not only. Yes,
it is.
Disobedience
He
from
committed
God.
adultery with Bathsheba, and he unalived
Disobedience
Uriah
from
the
God.
Hittite, her husband. He killed him.
Disobedience from God is one of the main spiritual laws.
Yeah, I know that. Okay, he was
Exactly.
disobedient. He committed adultery and murder. Okay,
That's why.
Remember, that was the sin. David committed those things.
Exactly. Remember.
Exactly. So what did the baby do?
You are asking. Well, you see, you're asking me something. I'm answering you, but you keep asking.
I'm trying to get you to acknowledge that the people that were punished in this story were innocent.
Innocent.
They didn't do anything. A baby was killed because a guy wanted some pussy, and 10 women were raped because a guy wanted some pussy.
Now I get it. I
don't know how you didn't get it 20 minutes ago.
The kids and the children, the women did not do anything. They were innocent. Because
they were innocent. They were executed for crimes they did not commit.
I literally just told you that when someone is born with a human heart. They say God says that no one is perfect. Everyone is born with a sinful heart. So no one.
Then tell us what this baby's sin was. I've already asked you that. I said, what did this baby do to deserve its execution? What was its crime?
I know. You don't know. Do you know?
Then tell us.
Do you know his crime? Because I said I don't know. I don't know.
The baby did not commit a crime. It is a 7-day-old baby. It cannot even hold its own head up.
I literally just told you.
The crime of being born? Was that your answer?
No, the crime of being born. I told you that the punishment was returning the baby to God.
I know what the punishment was. I'm asking you what the crime was. What was this baby who was executed guilty of, John?
Okay, I'll say this again. I do not know the crime, because if I keep on telling you this,
that's because there's not a crime. What you do know is that an innocent baby was killed.
I will not add to the scripture. That is sacred. I will not add to the scripture.
I'm not asking you to add to it. I'm asking you to acknowledge what it actually says.
No, you are adding to the scripture because you're telling me something that I.
What did I add to the scripture? What did I add?
You're saying the innocence. The baby was innocent.
Oh, okay. Well, what was the baby's crime then? Because I'm not reading anything that says this baby was guilty of anything.
Does the scripture?
So show us. Show us.
No, does the scripture say anything about the baby being innocent?
It says the baby was killed, is what it says.
Yes, exactly. Only that. So I cannot judge that.
Did I say he killed it and something else?
No, I'm saying that the
you're telling me I'm adding to the story and you're not. So you're saying this baby was guilty of something apparently. So show us where it said the baby did something.
I said according to the Bible, people are born with
according to the Bible, the baby didn't do anything. It was innocent. It was executed for another man's sin.
But you just told me that it only talks about killing the baby.
That is what it says.
Exactly. Only thing it says, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how can I know? I go lie to you, yes, I say no, the baby was
You
this, the
don't
baby was that.
know. That's my point. What you do
Yes, you
know is
too.
that this fucking baby was killed for another man's
No,
sin. I'm trying to get you to
exactly.
acknowledge that and say this God was wrong for killing an innocent
No,
fucking
you are
baby.
trying to, you're forcing me to judge God, but I cannot do that.
You don't have to. Just say I can't recognize evil. Say this God gets to do whatever evil it wants, and I, John, will give him a pass and
Okay,
worship it
okay,
anyway.
okay, okay.
Say
Something.
it.
Okay,
Say
let's.
you worship a baby killing God and you don't think it's evil.
Yeah, I worship a baby killing God, and I don't think it's evil.
And there you go.
Let me
Perfect.
let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Okay, before I will probably will go soon. Before I go, okay. Let me ask you this question. Who gives life to us? Who gives life to us? Let me ask you this question. Who
John,
gives life to us?
congratulations. You worship a baby killer, man.
Okay, can I ask you
And
this
you
question?
said it
Who
out
gives life
loud
to
with your
us?
full chest like it was cool. Like you got some kind of
I don't need it to be cool. I believe in God, and I'll always believe in
I
God
know. You said I
until
worship a
my
baby
death.
killer and I don't think that's evil. So you don't
Yes,
think that murdering babies is evil, John.
brother,
You
you just
worship
asked
that.
me. You
And
just
you
asked me.
are a
I replied
disgusting
to you.
person. You're a
Yeah,
disgusting person.
you may think
You didn't
that
have
it's
to say
okay.
it. You didn't
Yeah,
have to say it. But you
yeah.
did.
Yes, I did. You asked me to say
Yeah.
it. You asked me to say it. You asked me to say it.
Yeah, you didn't have to say it. I was asking you to acknowledge your own belief.
Yes, I acknowledge it.
I know. And you
So
don't have a problem with
I'm
worshiping
asking you
a baby murdering God.
I'm asking you who gives life?
What
You
difference
brother,
does it make?
you live in a country that made us mostly trillions. And you still go and buy that food that is used by all these people who did all this slavery. So are you guys evil?
Yeah, slavery's evil. Your God's evil
No,
for
no, you
allowing
guys,
slavery.
no. Don't try to hide from that. Because
I
you
ain't from
think you
shit.
are
I just said it was evil.
no. So
I will acknowledge evil. I
all
have some
people who
balls
did
and some
evil,
actual integrity. So
all
I don't
did
care. I'll call evil out when
all
I see evil, whether it's
no
your God or another person. I have no
all
problem with that.
people.
You're the coward here. You're the
So I
one who
made the
will not acknowledge atrocities being
so
committed to you.
the America is evil. And no one ever
When
in
they
America is evil.
for doing slavery, yeah, that was fucking evil. Yeah,
No,
yes,
no, no.
100%. And your
So it
God and
means
your religion are
so it
evil
me-
for allowing those things. God
so it
said you
means
can own slaves and you can beat them, you can
no,
sell
brother.
them, and you can fuck them, and you can
So,
kill them.
brother.
This is
So
your
you
loving God that you
are you
worship.
saying
The
no,
same
brother?
one that
Tell me
killed the
this,
babies that you said wasn't
brother.
evil.
So are you
Same
saying
God.
me? Are you telling me that you Americans are evil and you are now judging God for
The
being evil?
Americans that owned slaves
No,
150
no, not
fucking
all
years
slaves.
ago were
No.
evil, is what I
Don't get us
said.
wrong. Don't get us wrong. All
I'm
Americans.
not getting you wrong.
You just said. You just said because God is the moral standard. So the moral standard is people who do bad things are evil. So it
You don't
means
have a
All
moral
Americans are
standard. You
evil.
don't even think killing babies is evil. You are
So
evil.
Americans. So
You have
what
no
I mean,
standard at all to judge any
brother.
of this shit.
So
You're
what do you
morally
mean?
bankrupt.
What you mean? What you mean? Do you even know that morality doesn't kill like that?
Who in this conversation is the one who said out loud,
I
I
did.
worship a baby murdering God and I don't think
I
that's
did.
evil?
You
I
live in a
know.
murdering country. What's the difference?
You worship that is the fucking difference. I call it out. You worship it
No,
is the fucking
brother,
difference. So fuck off,
brother,
John.
you eat the food of those people.
Unreal. Unfucking real. Well, that was 30 minutes of a pretty long. Hey, Steven, you there?
Yeah, I'm not here for you, brother. I'm sorry, man. I was here for him.
Oh.
We're on the
Oh,
same page. Yeah.
I got you. Appreciate it, man. All right. Let's see. Hey, guest, are you there?
Hey, yes, I'm here for you.
Hey, what's up, man? Are you a Christian?
I was agnostic, but yes, I am.
Cool, cool. So, if you're against slavery, human sacrifice, and injustice, why are you a Christian?
So just it's so obvious to me that Catholicism does not teach slavery and you know, killing people and evil. You know, it's all
Catholics?
about what?
Did you say Catholic?
Oh yeah, I'm Catholic.
Oh. Have you ever read a history book?
Yes, but if you're gonna talk about like the Inquisition and like killing people, like I believe that comes from sin. That doesn't come from
Well,
like
it's what Catholics did to other people
okay, that's what humans.
for
Yeah,
being Christians wrong. They locked 6,000 what was called the Waldenson people in a cave and set it on fire for the awful crime of baptizing people as adults.
I don't think that's what God like. I think this is from sin, honestly.
Well, it's, yeah, I mean, it's people being people. But
Right.
it's the Catholic Church that's killing people.
I don't think saying that the church killed people is really what it was. I think it was the evil that killed people, like evil
Well, it
action.
was the church being evil, just like this God. This God has no problem killing people. It does it constantly. Innocent people. Not even for actual sin sometimes. Sometimes he's just offended. There's one chapter in the Bible, just one chapter, where God kills 70,000 people because people were counted. It's crazy.
The way I see God is that He loves us and He's merciful.
Well, it wasn't merciful to this baby here. He killed it right up after making it suffer for a week. And he has 10 women raped here for
Okay,
something they didn't do.
I'm gonna get my Bible up because I want to see what you're talking about.
2 Samuel chapter 12.
Okay. Samuel.
Yeah, this is the story of David and Bathsheba. So David commits adultery with Bathsheba and then kills her husband because he can't pin the pregnancy on her. So God puts away David's sins. David don't get a scratch for murder and rape, but God decides that the appropriate punishment in this situation is to have 10 of David's wives raped, and he kills their baby after making it suffer for a week.
Okay, 2 Samuel, and then which chapter is it?
Chapter 12.
Okay, and is it just the entire chapter, or is there like a specific part? Let me see.
The first part of it, or most of the chapters that story, and then it ends up with Solomon being born while they're still weeping over this baby that God kills. Solomon's born, but God loves that baby. He makes it a king, even though it's a baby born from the same man and the same woman he killed their other baby.
Okay, let me see. Where does it say that the baby was killed?
Verse 15.
Okay, then Nathan returned to his house. The Lord struck the child that the wife of Uriah had borne to David, and it became desperately ill. David pleaded with God on behalf of the child. He kept a total fast and spent the night lying on the ground, clothed in sackcloth. The elders of his house stood beside him to get him to rise from the ground, but he would not, nor would he take food with them. On the seventh day, the child died. David's servant. Okay. Yep. Yeah. So this is really horrible, tragic, and like I would credit this
It
to
is
sin.
really horrible.
I would credit this to sin because sin is the reason why people die. I mean, if you look at Genesis,
Yeah,
it
but
talks
what sin did this baby commit to be executed in such a fashion? What was its crime?
I don't know. Does it say it here? I don't think babies can
It
sin
does
yet.
say.
You have to be like 7 years old or something to get like to the age of like being able to choose, right? Like isn't there like a certain age where you can't really I mean, when you're younger.
If there is, I don't know. I'm not aware that the Bible gives any sort of such age for something like that. I'm just saying, man, this God is killing a completely innocent child here, a baby, an infant, who had no control over the situation, who certainly didn't commit the adultery that it was executed for. And the 10 women that God has raped here, they didn't have nothing to do with it either. But they're the ones who are horrifically punished for something they did not do by this God.
Wait, okay, so I want to see the rape one. Is that the same chapter, different chapter?
Yeah, verse 11.
11? Okay. Oh, verse 11? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. Thus says the Lord, I will bring evil upon you out of your own house. I will take your wives before your very eyes, and will give them to your neighbor. He shall lie with your wives in broad daylight. You have acted in secret, but I will do this in the presence of all Israel, all Israel, in the presence of the sun itself. I think that this, like, if you think of free will, those neighbors, they had the choice to lie with the wife. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a choice.
Free will.
Yes.
So you think when God said, I will take your wives and give them to your neighbor in front of all of Israel, and he will lie with your wives, you think that's them consenting to that? That's God saying, I'm going to give them to him as long as they consent to it.
No, I mean, like, the neighbors that would... Okay, so are you asking, like, did God physically take the people and put them... Is that what you mean? Like, he took them?
That's what God means, and that's exactly what happens.
But is that what is meant, or is it meant that the wives...
That's exactly what's meant. Yes, these women were raped. They're raped on top of a building in chapter 16 by their own son. And I assure you, they did not consent to commit adultery with their own son.
Where is this? In chapter 16?
Yeah, he does the deed in 16, yeah.
Where? Like, in which verse?
I don't know the verse. Let's see. His adversary.
I just want to, like, take a moment
Counsel
to
of Ahithophel, so it's got to be... Give us your counsel. Now in those days, counsels good. Oracle got counsels, but the stand. Yeah, Ahithophel said to Absalom, go into your father's concubines, the one he has left to look after the house, and all of Israel will hear that you have made yourself odious to your father, and the hands of all who are with you will be strengthened. So they pitched a tent for Absalom on the roof, and Absalom went into his father's concubines in the sight of all Israel.
Which verse is
So he
that?
rapes them in front of everybody. That's verse 23, or 22 and 23.
22. So a tent was Absalom went into his father's concubines in view of all Israel. A concubine would be not his mom. Would it be the mom, or like...
That's his wife. It's a wife.
Okay. Also, like, I really, like, honestly, like, I'm still Christian because, like, I don't know if you've seen the lives of the saints, the way that the saints were, like just the way that they were. You know what I mean? Like, it's not about
I don't know
killing.
what you mean.
It's not about graping, and it's not about, like, unaliving. It's
Well,
the
man,
opposite.
I get it. You probably didn't know about this story before today, but now that you realize that your God is having innocent women raped and killing innocent babies, that don't upset. Like, I found this deeply disturbing when I was a Christian. In fact, I was like, no, I'm not for a second condoning this. Like, this is this is absolutely evil
Well,
in the
Christianity
highest form.
does... I hear you, and I'm glad that you said that, but, like, Catholicism does not... It teaches the exact opposite.
How can you teach the opposite of what the Bible says about God?
Because the Bible certainly does not say to do this.
It certainly does.
It doesn't. It's just giving an account of what happened in that time.
Buddy, you really, really need to read this book. You clearly haven't.
The Bible talks about abstinence. The Bible talks about marriage being the only place for sex. Like, it's the literal opposite.
Did you know that God says that you can take women and children as captives in war and you can rape them?
That's not what we can do. We
You
can't do
can
that.
do it. God says
Well,
you
we
can. He
can.
gives you explicit permission to
No.
do these things.
God,
It is
God,
not a sin to take a woman and a child as a captive in war and rape them. You can
it,
make them marry you according to God.
it is not only not okay, but it is not only a sin, it is a grave
It
sin.
is not a sin in the Bible.
It's a grave sin.
It's not. It is explicitly permitted in the Bible. If God
Dude,
says you can do something and you do it, that's not a sin, man.
dude, if somebody does that, I guarantee you that you might go to hell for that.
Why would you go to hell for something that God says you can do?
God says that we must not do that.
Dude, you are in such denial right now.
I mean,
I guess I'll have to read it to you, won't I?
look up the teaching of the church.
I'll tell you what, we're just going to read what God says. It says, when you draw near to a town to fight against it, offer it terms of peace. If it accepts your terms of peace and surrenders to you, then all the people in it shall serve you as forced labor. If it does not submit to you peacefully and makes war against you, then you shall besiege it. And when the Lord your God gives it into your hand, you shall put all its males to the sword. You may, however, take as your plunder the women, the children, the livestock, and everything else in the town, all the spoil. You may enjoy the spoil of your enemies, which the Lord your God has given you. Thus you shall treat all the towns that are very far from you, which are not towns of the nations here. But as for the towns of these people that the Lord your God has given you as an inheritance, you must not let anything that breathes remain alive. You shall annihilate them. The Hittites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, the Jebusites, just as the Lord your God has commanded, so that they might teach you not to do these abhorrent things that they do for their gods, and you thus sin against the Lord your God. So
Dude,
he's telling you straight up,
killing
you
is
can
not
have women
okay.
and children as plunder in
Having
war.
relations with a woman that you're not married to is not okay. Killing is not okay. In fact, even physically hurting somebody is
Well, it
not
sounds
okay.
like you have serious issues with this religion, just as I did.
Dude,
You
the
should be an
religion
atheist.
itself condemns all of these things.
This religion explicitly, I just read it to you. He said you can do this.
The religion says you must not do this, or you could go to hell for eternity.
You heard what I just read you, did
I heard
you?
what you read.
So does it say you may take women and children, or does it say you may not take them?
You're asking about that specific thing that you
Yeah,
read?
this is the rules of warfare that God
This is
gave
not
to his people.
this is not Catholicism. This is the opposite.
This is the same Bible that Catholics use.
We actually believe that if you do such atrocities that you could very, very well go to hell.
That's why I'm asking you. Why in the world would you think you'll go to hell for something that God told you can do?
Because God tells us not to do this.
Where does he tell you not to do that? Because I just read
Everywhere.
where he tells you to do that.
Like
Female captives. When you go out to war against your enemy and the Lord your God hands them over to you and you take them captive, suppose you see among the captives a beautiful woman who you desire and want to marry. And so you bring her to your home. She shall shave her head, pare her nails, discard her captive's garbs, and shall remain in your house a full month, mourning her father and mother whom you just slaughtered. After that, you may go into her and be her husband, and she shall be your wife. God gave explicit permission here to rape a war captive and force them to marry you. That's not a sin.
People who are canonized saints, they don't rape, they don't do anything like this. They don't kill, they don't, that's the opposite.
If they did, it wouldn't be a problem for God.
Yeah, it would be not only a problem, you could go to hell for that.
I don't understand why you think it's a problem for God when I just read you the passage where God says, do this. The Lord your God is giving them to you.
Says not to do this.
Where did it say not to do it?
Everywhere.
Where? Show us. Chapter and verse.
You shall not kill. You shall not commit adultery. Like the 10 Commandments.
Oh, okay. So you can disregard 3 chapters of the rules of warfare here because it says don't commit adultery.
Committing adultery.
Do you know what adultery is in the Bible?
Yeah, it means when you do something.
Adultery is when a man sleeps with another man's wife. This is when you take captives after you have slaughtered their family and you can force them to marry you. They're not married.
My goodness. If I slept with any woman or man, I would be in so much trouble. in my church.
Well, if you slept with a captive that you've taken in war, that's just God being friendly and giving you the plunder that you deserve for being His chosen.
I could go to hell for that.
No, you couldn't. Not
Of
eyes of
course you
God.
could. It
You
says
could.
it.
It sounds like you have serious problems with the commandments of God, is what it sounds like.
The command says you
And
shall
you should.
not.
Like, I commend you for this. I appreciate that you're not acknowledging that this is good, but this is what God says. I know you
Dude,
don't like it.
the
I don't like it
exact
either.
the exact okay. My dad used to buy Saints movies, like the actual physical movies back in the day, and I would bring them up to my room and watch them, and I guarantee you it's the literal opposite.
I get you perceive it as the opposite, and I get that a
No,
movie
but it
displays it as the
is.
opposite because they're not going to make a movie that says the saint took captives in war and forced them to marry him and rape
Because
them and shit,
if
man.
they did, they would not be a saint. They would
I
be.
know. Maybe they should read the Bible because I know plenty of saints that you're talking about, like Saint Augustine. He said it was
Yeah,
love to beat your slave. He said if you beat your slave, do it as an act of love, and God will favor you for this. Do you think that's cool?
beating anyone is not cool.
Man, I'm telling you, you hate your own religion. I'm telling you.
But my religion teaches me not to beat anyone. Like
Your
it's the
religion
opposite.
says you can. Exodus 21, verse 20. When a
Dude,
slave owner strikes a male or female slave with a rod and the slave dies immediately, the owner shall be punished. But if the slave survives a day or two, there is no punishment, for the slave is the owner's property.
we if
It
any
says
of
in
us
Proverbs 29, you can't pamper a slave. You're supposed to beat them, or
if
they're going to
an-
be spoiled and live a
if
bad life.
if any of us had a slave, I guarantee you we would be in trouble.
Why would you be in trouble for,
Because
again, doing something that God says you can do?
God does not say it. He says we're all equal.
You have got to be kidding me. This is,
Do you
I've never
really
heard
do
denial
you
like this.
genuinely believe that God says that we can have a slave?
Yeah, I can read. It says, as for the male and female slaves whom you may have, it is from the nations around you that you may acquire male and female slaves. You may also acquire them from the aliens residing with you and from their families who are with you, who have been born into your land, and they may be your property. You may keep them as a possession for your children after you, for them to inherit as property. These you may treat as slaves. But as for your fellow Israelites, no one shall rule over the other with harshness. Exodus 21, when you buy a male Hebrew slave, he shall serve 6 years, but in the 7th year he shall go out a free person without debt, unless you give him a wife and he has children with her and wants to stay with his family, then he has to commit to you for life. When you sell your daughter as a slave, she shall not go out as the male slaves do. And then you can go to the New Testament. Jesus tells all kind of stories using slaves as examples. Talks about beating slaves, talks about owning slaves, talks about having worthless slaves obeying their commands, talks about how you don't have to say thank you to them, all kind of shit.
So imagine going to church with a slave. Like that would be against the teaching.
Show us where the Bible says you can't own a slave, because I can show you a whole bunch of passages where it says you can own a slave.
Sure.
In fact, there's like 10 instances in the New Testament where it says slaves obey your earthly masters, even the cruel ones, with fear and trembling.
The church teaches that treating somebody as lower or less is not it's not okay by any means.
Then why did Jesus do it?
Jesus himself treated us, he literally went to people who were tax collectors and prostitutes, and he treated them like human beings.
Yeah, unless if they were Israelites, he did. If they were
Nope.
Canaanites, he called them dogs.
Well, that lady, she said even the dogs eat. Like at that time, they used to use that horrible word. They used to use that word to describe.
Jesus
Yeah.
used that word.
Yeah, you know what? I don't understand that honestly, but the idea
Because
behind
Jesus
it.
is racist.
No, Jesus was living in that reality. That was the reality.
I
that he
know,
lived.
and he was racist, realistically, in that reality. He was racist.
he
That's
was-
why he
he
called her a
was-
dog. He was originally ignoring her. He wasn't even going to talk to her. The disciple says, look, you have to go say something to her. She keeps yelling at us.
Yeah, people
Finally,
had
Jesus addresses her, and he says, hey,
people.
get
had
away,
their-
get out of here. I came only for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. She goes, no, you have to help me. He goes, I'm not throwing my food to dogs. That's exactly how the story
I
goes.
understand. I'm familiar with this chapter, like whatever in the Bible. Jesus
Right.
was being watched by everybody. Everybody was watching him as a Jew because he was a Jew. And Jews had this kind of like belief that they were the chosen people of God. You know, they were like God chose them, and he didn't choose, for example, that lady. You know, they would call
Right.
them dogs.
The rest of the world, the Gentiles, they're under the Israelites.
Yes,
Like
that
in Isaiah, it says the entire world is going to lick the dust off the feet of the Israelites. That's why
that's how
Jesus is calling everybody else dogs, because
that
he
he
might
didn't call
acknowledge them, but they're still under him. That's
he didn't call
racism.
he didn't call everybody else dogs. In this case,
He calls everybody else dogs. Yes, he does.
in this case, that despicable term comes up. That's what people would say. Like they would call them dogs. Like that was the way
I
that they
know
addressed.
Jesus called them dogs because
Jesus was
Jesus is racist. He's the one
Jesus.
that called them that. He
He's not
called them
racist.
dogs. He is
Jesus is the
racist.
opposite. He literally helped her.
How is it? How is it not racism to call everybody else dogs except for the Israelites? That's literally putting your race above them. That's the definition of racism.
Jesus was born into the reality that the Jews were, they looked down at the Gentiles. That was the reality that he was born into.
I know. He wasn't any better. That's what I'm saying. He's not special. He was just as racist as all the rest
Okay,
of
so
them.
if he was racist and whatever, then why did he help her and love her?
She admitted she's a dog and he found it witty.
She literally had so much faith that she said, even the dogs eat the scraps that fall from the table."
That's not faith. That's desperation.
Well, why would she want him? Like, why would she want what he had or could
Desperation.
give? What?
Desperation, man. She was desperate. There was something wrong with her daughter. She wanted help for her daughter desperately.
So
And Jesus
why
wouldn't
would
even
she,
help her. He wouldn't even acknowledge her.
why would she reach out to him if he is in that mindset of, you know, dog, like calling people a dog or whatever?
Guest, let me see if I can't answer the question. So I'm in Maryland, right? And there's this big tension between this rivalry between Marylanders and Virginians, at least some of them. And so, let's imagine a world where I'm a Marylander and you're a Virginian, right? And we hate each other. Like, I think Virginians are the worst. You think Marylanders are the worst. But the Virginians have all this money and all this power, right? And Marylanders don't. And I find myself really down on my luck, and I'm broke, and I need some help. And there's nobody in Maryland that can help me, right? But the Virginians are the ones that can do it. And so I see you. I venture into Virginia, and I see you, and I say, "Oh, lemon ice cube." Please have pity on me, and you ignore me.
I just
And I
realized why you
say,
said that.
sorry,
I was like, lemon ice cube.
lemon ice cube. What's wrong with this guy?
I have no idea what you're doing.
And so I say, "Oh, please," and I chase after you. And you got some friends with you, and your friends are like, "Hey, lemon, come on, man! Like, either help him or like tell this guy to get lost." But he is getting on my nerves. And so I finally come and I throw myself down at your feet and say, "Please, lemon ice, help me." And you look at me and you say, "It's not fit to give money to Marylanders." And I say, yes, you're right. I'm a Marylander. I'm not as good as you as a Virginian, but you could still have mercy on me as a lowly Marylander. And you say, "Man, that is some serious humility. Here you go."
What was the money that Jesus gave?
It was Helen and her daughter.
Oh, okay. So
You would think if Jesus was this moral, brilliant character, he would have just said, "Oh, of course I'll help your daughter. Say no more. It's done."
like, do you think that you were being,
he was breaking that.
right? Do you think that by
Hold
you...
on. Host. He was breaking that.
No. Focus, Lemon Ice. Focus with me for a
I am
second. Look,
focusing. I'm
no.
focusing because
I
the
know.
whole point
Listen.
of
Hey,
this
listen.
live,
Listen.
the whole point of this live is to
Lemon
say that
Ice.
Jesus is
Lemon
bad
Ice.
and whatever.
Lemon Ice. Listen. Ape is going to try to lead. He's going to try to lead you astray. Okay, you've got him up against the ropes. He knows it. He's just trying to dodge and deflect. Don't let him do that to you, Lemon Ice. Just focus with me for a minute, okay? Don't let him take you down the path to darkness. So look, in this analogy, you would say that you were kind of a dick to me, right? Because you were like, I'm ignoring that Marylander. I'm not gonna when that Marylander comes and throws himself down at my feet, I'm not gonna help him. I'm gonna say, I don't give money to Marylanders, right? And it's only when I'm like, you're right, you're the greatest, I'm the worst, right? That you go, all right, fine, here you go, here's some money. You would say you were kind of a dick to me, right?
Okay, like I was saying, Jesus was trying to break that.
Yeah. So I don't know why you can't just answer my question. So I didn't say anything about
Did a bad
Jesus.
job.
Yeah, I didn't say anything about Jesus. I said me and you. You would say you were kind of a dick to me, right?
I'm really not sure what you're asking me, honestly.
I mean, I didn't think my question was that complicated.
He's
Remember the
asking
story I
you
just
as the
told?
Virginian who gave him money as the Marylander after he said, "Hey, you're way better than me, but I could use a little money if you could help me out. I'm a dog, just please help me out." And you, as the Virginianer, say, "Okay, fine, that's a major humility. Let me give you the money." That was still a dick move, right? Even though you gave him the money.
Yeah, the story is not about like it's about something completely different.
So
it's
yes, no, Lemon Ice, you were a dick to me in
your
the story.
story is not relating to that.
Yes, Lemon Ice. No.
Yes or no?
Which one is it?
Your story does not have to do
Lemon,
with
you don't
what
have.
happened
Look,
there.
that's not what I don't know why you can't track here. Look, you don't.
I
I'm
can
not
track, but
asking
I'm
you.
choosing
Hey,
not to.
I'm not. I know you're not. I'm not asking you whether they're analogous. We can debate about that in a minute. But I just need to get like through step one with you. Right? Do you think that in my story you were kind of being a dick to me?
It's like if I answer you yes, then you're gonna apply that to the story in the Bible.
Look, I'm going to grant you that
Yeah.
you don't think it's analogous.
But you're
okay. I'm granting
yeah.
you that you don't think it's analogous. I get it.
Okay.
So, in my hypothetical, do you think that you're being a dick to me?
In your hypothetical,
Yes.
no.
You don't think you're being a dick to me by
not giving you money?
Because you're a Marylander. I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to because you're a Marylander.
So
That's not a dick
people
move.
are not allowed to have their own.
Did you hear what I said? Well, what would you call it if you said, "Oh, you were a Virginian? Here you go." "Oh, you're a Marylander?" "Nah, fam. I don't help Marylanders." What do you call that?
A choice.
Okay. Hey, I didn't want to go here, but let's do it. Let's say a person of color comes into your bar that you own and you say, "Nah, I don't serve people of color here."
Racism.
There you go. Right. But it's still a choice, right?
Yeah, it's a choice to choose.
Oh, okay.
To choose
So
to
you're
judge
saying-
somebody.
so-
To choose to
yeah,
judge
that's right.
somebody because of their color. Of
That's
skin.
right. Do you think that racism is good?
Do you mean judging someone without knowing them?
Yes.
No, it's not even okay.
Okay. So, but all you know about me is that I'm a Marylander. So, what do you call that?
A judgment.
Is it good?
I don't even know you. Like, what
Right.
do you mean?
Exactly.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know how you don't know what I mean by that.
Like, what
What's
do
the
you mean?
symmetry? What's the symmetry breaker between I'm not going to help you because you're a person of color and I'm not going to help you because you're a Marylander? What's the difference? What's the symmetry breaker?
It's the idea of like judging somebody based off of the color of their skin and judging somebody based off of where they choose to live.
Okay. Is that a material difference?
It is a difference because somebody can
Is it a
choose to live.
material difference? Is it a material difference? Well, first of all, I don't know what you mean by choose to live. Like
Choose to live in Maryland.
yeah, I don't know what that means. So somebody that grows up in Maryland doesn't have enough money to leave Maryland. It's not like a choice that they're making. But that's weird that you're thinking, oh, you chose to live in Maryland, therefore that's a meaningful difference. So I can discriminate against you.
Somebody cannot choose to. Somebody can choose the culture that they're in. Yes, they can.
Oh, okay. So somebody who is a person of color, right? They can, if they went to a different culture, then you'd be okay with it.
Like if
Discriminating
somebody.
against them.
First of all, I'm like the opposite of racist. I don't know if you don't even know me.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Like I know enough about you to know that you don't know what racism is.
You don't even know the choices that I make with the people
It
that
doesn't
I
matter.
talk to.
Yeah, it doesn't matter at all. I've heard what you've said. You're a racist. You don't even realize it.
There isn't any form of way that I could be racist with how I act. Like with my neighbors, with my neighbors, with my friends.
You have a black friend, right? So that means you're not a racist.
I don't have a black friend. I have friends no matter what their color is.
Oh, okay. So you definitely can't be racist. Then this tells me you have no idea what racism is. Okay. So
I choose
now that we've established that.
I choose not to be because it's stupid and it's dumb.
Yeah. You don't realize how racist you are, and that's okay. I mean, like, I think that probably is most people in the States fall into that category. It's one of the reasons that we're here. But
so I'm racist because I have friends with people who are black, white, whatever, blah 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 blah, all kinds of things. Like I don't care if they're gay, straight, bi, transgender, black, Asian, Thai. Like I don't care what they are, man. Like so now I'm racist because of this. Like wait, that doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, I know it doesn't make any sense to you. I get it.
But it's the opposite. You're saying something opposite.
Yeah. It's okay.
But do you not see the logic there?
The thing is, you don't. And that's what makes this sad.
Are you playing a game with my mind?
No, I'm not. So let's do this here, since you don't understand that discrimination is a bad thing. You think that in certain cases, if somebody chooses to live in a state, it's okay to discriminate against them. I don't understand how there's not symmetry between my analogy and what happened with Jesus.
Why are we talking
and the woman
about
that came crying after him? Yeah, I'm talking about it because I think it is analogous. You think it's not, so I'm going to ask you, what's the symmetry breaker?
Do you know how intricate the Bible is? Like it goes back to Old Testament prophecies.
No, I don't have any idea.
It goes back to Old Testament. Like the Bible is so specific with each thing that it mentions.
And how does that help us here?
Because you're bringing up some like 2026 analogy of Virginia and Maryland.
What's the symmetry breaker?
Dude, your analogy doesn't have to do with like something that is going back to like an idea of Gentiles being below Jews.
I know you're restating the claim. I get it. I'm asking you, what's the symmetry breaker?
It's that your analogy is not addressing what happened.
Okay, that's restating the claim. How? How is it not addressing it?
Because it doesn't have to do with a prophecy or like a previous...
So you don't understand how analogies work then?
It doesn't have to do with something that has been like established in the past and it has to be broken now.
Yeah, I'll let you sit with that sentence for a second. Think it through.
So you're saying that the Virginian has
Mhm.
more money. Just like being a Virginian, they tend to be more wealthy, and the Marylander is kind of having a really hard time. So he
Mhm.
goes up to the Virginian and he's begging them for money.
For help.
And the Virginian, although while he helps another Virginian, he's choosing to kind of discriminate in this.
Mhm.
Okay. Now you're asking me, how does this story not have a parallel
That's right.
with the exact story of the
Mhm.
Samaritan woman who has a daughter who's ill, and she's reaching out to this Jew who she believes that he can heal her daughter.
Mhm.
But do you see how there's like the concept of Samaritanism and non-Jew, like, Samaritan? Do you see how there's like that level of like Jesus was a Jew, so he was living with Jews and he was expected to act as a Jew.
Mhm.
And yet in this case, he decided to go against that and help
When
her.
did he decide to do that?
He made the decision. I mean, she
When?
showed faith.
When?
She showed faith.
Yeah. So when did he decide to do that? Was it as soon as she came asking?
Maybe it was before he even met her.
Yeah. Was it though?
How do you know?
Well, what does the text say?
Well, the text is written for us to understand it. But
Okay. So if hold on. If it's written for you to understand it, how do you understand it?
I understand it that he already loved her from the beginning.
Why do you understand that? Where does it say that in the text?
Because it's not just that text, it's the whole story of Jesus. He just loved everybody.
But this woman, he ignored, and then he ignored his disciples. And then
he was
when
expected.
hey. And when she came and threw herself at his feet, he said, nah, fam, it's not good to give the bread for the children to the dogs. Right? And she says, yes, Lord, but even the dogs get the crumbs that fall from the master's table. And he says, great is your faith. Here you go.
He was in a societal role that he had to fulfill.
Okay. So the Virginian, you as the Virginian, you're around other Virginians that hate Marylanders. You all hate Marylanders. I told you that. There's a rivalry.
Excuse me for interrupting you, but this is where your analogy just cannot. It
I
cannot
know
apply.
you keep saying that, except I'm
can't.
showing you
It
at
physically
every
can't.
turn. Hey, I'm showing you at every turn how it does.
It physically can't, though.
I don't know what physically with an
because you're
analogy
talking
means.
about financial and things like that. This is something that has to do with like the whole Jewish society.
Yeah, I don't
We're
think
just
you
making a
understand the words that
story.
you're saying.
We're telling the exact same story in a different way.
Except that this one has to do with financial and money, whereas that one has to do with the entire idea of Judaism being the God's chosen people.
Right. Well, the Virginians think that they are just that much better than the Marylanders.
But
I just
that's
don't
not
see
the
the
same.
symmetry breaker here. Yeah, I just don't see the symmetry breaker
It is
here.
the
That's
same.
Still,
it's
it's discrimination. It's
symmetry
discrimination.
breaker.
It's discrimination based on the class that the person found themselves in.
The symmetry breaker is that in Judaism, they are, quote, God's chosen people, unquote.
Okay.
So that's not
So they think
symmetrical, or whatever the word is. That's not like.
So wait,
analogous.
just so I understand. So if you're God's chosen people, you're not allowed to help people that aren't. It's a weird thing to.
Yeah,
You
I
have to
guess.
have
Yeah.
cut first. It's like the
Oh,
protocol.
so you're not allowed to help people. As a
That's
Catholic?
not what I said. I was
Are
answering.
you God's
what you
chosen
just said.
people? Are you God's chosen people?
I mean, I'm not Jewish. I'm Catholic.
Are you God's chosen people?
We are the Israel. Yes. Now,
Are you
this
God's
is
chosen
Israel.
people? I don't know why this is hard to answer. Are you God's chosen people?
No.
You're not. You're not God's chosen people.
No.
Okay.
It's not analogous now. It's a new covenant.
Oh, so you are God's chosen people. It's
I
just
said
different.
no, and I stay by that. I'm not.
What are you then? You're God's what people?
I'm actually a son of God.
But God's sons isn't his people.
Meaning he's my father. Well, what do you mean?
Yeah, I don't think I understand how you're drawing a distinction between those.
being God's chosen people was a concept where the Israelites, like the Jews specifically, were they were God's chosen people in the sense of they had this like what do you call it, like reality about them.
What does that mean?
Meaning like just being a Jew, being born into it. Like if you're a child of a person who's Jewish, then you're suddenly now born into it. But now I am a son, like as in God is my father. Like
how does that make a difference for Jesus? So if you're born into Judaism, you're okay to be a racist?
It's not racist. It's living into that expectation, that like that culture, that
okay, so you don't know what racism is, so I'll change the word. So it's okay to discriminate based on culture? Yeah, it's okay. I've taken the word racism out because you don't understand what it is. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine.
Racism is when you are treating somebody lower because of their race.
No, that's not what racism is. But we're going to move past it because I'm not here to educate you on that. You can go talk to somebody who has a specialization in it and pay them to do so, I hope. But here, you're saying it sounds like it's okay to discriminate against people from outside of your culture as long as you're born into that culture. Is that what you're saying?
It's not okay.
Okay, then I don't understand what you're saying.
In that case, the Jews were God's chosen people, and Samaritans were not Jews. So therefore
what?
Therefore, they were in a societal like obligation to act according to that truth.
To discriminate against people that were not God's chosen people.
Who were not God's chosen people.
So Jesus had to discriminate against people that were not Jewish.
Well, yes, by definition.
That's definitionally racism.
Well, then, by your definition of racism, it's not
That's
racism.
Why we said you don't know what it is.
It's not. Hold on. It's not racism. It's something else-ism.
Okay.
Are the Jews a race of people?
I mean, it's a race, but it's a religion.
If you're going to try to be technical about this, sure. Race was not something that was developed at the time. It wasn't an idea. Fine. If you want to go down that route. So it's discrimination based on culture. And you're okay with that?
Based on religion.
Okay. I don't know why you're saying based on religion.
Because Jewish versus Samaritan.
Yeah, so this just leads me to believe that you don't know who the Samaritans were.
They were Jewish too, man.
They were not exactly Jewish.
Okay, so
Samaria was in Israel.
Yeah, but it wasn't a kind of Jewish.
Who did they worship?
Oh my goodness.
Who did the Samaritans worship? I just want to make sure I understand.
Yeah, they worshipped the same God, but it wasn't this. It wasn't the same type of.
Wait, let me just make sure I understand. Do you know what the Samaritan Pentateuch is?
Is it the Pentateuch, like the Torah?
Yeah, it's just the Samaritan version of it. Right.
Sure, so it's not the same. You just said Samaritan version.
Right. Why do you think they call it the Pentateuch?
Because penta means 5.
Uh-huh.
And there are 5 books: the Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy.
Oh, okay. So they use the Torah. Okay.
But why did you have to why did you have to call it the Samaritan Pentateuch?
Well, it's primarily because of where they worship. But it's not a different religion.
It is certainly a different religion.
I know you don't understand how this works.
It's not, but it is. It's not,
but it is. You don't understand how this works, and that's okay. I get it. But it sounds like at the end of the day, all you're saying is that there are some times, based on religion or based on culture, that you're allowed to discriminate against people, and that's okay. Jesus could do that, and that's okay.
Why are you being quiet? Like, you want me to say something?
I mean, if you don't want to push back on me against that, I guess that's on you.
Dude, do you understand that religion, like Catholicism, teaches us to not discriminate?
So that's the other thing. This is actually the reason I came up. I don't think I understand why you keep saying that. So Abe was reading you passages.
Truth.
Right? Yeah, I know. He was
you don't know.
Passages. Yeah.
What do you mean I know?
Yeah, I know. So
you're just saying I know because...
Yeah.
You want me to stop talking? Yeah, you just want me to stop talking.
I do. While I'm talking, I do want you to stop. So Abe was reading you passages from the Hebrew Bible and saying, look, here's where God commands this, or where God sanctions this. And you kept saying Catholics don't believe that, which is why I came up, because what I don't understand is, how do you view the God of the Old Testament?
He's the same God as the God today.
So the commands that he gave, were they moral or immoral?
They were given for a specific reason, but God is good.
Okay, I'm going to ask my question again. Were they moral or immoral?
They were moral.
Okay, so then what you're having to say is that slavery and sanctioning of slavery was moral.
No.
Well, I don't understand. Did God's commands, were they moral?
Yes, but slavery is something from sinfulness, like sin.
Let me just make sure I'm following here. So
Do you
if God's
understand that people are
commands,
allowed to choose
hey,
sin?
yeah. So if God's commands are all moral,
Wait.
hey,
This
Hold on.
is about
Joshua,
God's command, not people.
lemon ice.
Dr. Bowen, Dr.
Hey,
Bowen, do you understand that people are allowed to choose sin?
I do. But lemon ice, if you're saying that all of God's commands are moral, and one of God's commands was sanctioning slavery, then I think you would follow that sanctioning slavery was moral.
Do you understand that slavery was a thing in the world?
Of course.
So
But what does that have to do with my question?
Because slavery is chosen by people. It's an evil thing.
Was grape a thing in the world?
I mean, what do you mean by grape? Because grape is like if somebody's married, or if it's
yikes.
No. Because grape is not necessarily what people think of it as.
Oh, yikes. You're big yikesing me here.
Okay. Please understand.
Look, I'm going to try to help you here. Let's just back away from that one so that you don't get in more trouble here. Stealing. Was stealing a thing that was happening in the world?
I mean, all the sins, stealing, grape.
Okay. Did God give a law that said you may steal?
I don't know.
No, he didn't.
Okay.
Why?
I don't know why, man. Like I don't know everything.
Okay.
God doesn't give bad laws.
Yeah, you understand that if you're saying that the reason that he said slavery is okay to do, it can't be because other people are doing it. Because then that argument falls apart when he says don't steal, but other people are stealing.
Okay, so the point you're making is just because something is happening in the world, it doesn't mean that God can just come in and make a law about it now suddenly.
No.
Is that the point you're making?
No, I'm saying that if your argument is that God said, I sanction slavery, is because people were doing it, then what we ought to see is laws that say you may steal, you may murder, you may grape, because people were doing those things.
No, so that is what I just said, but you said no. Anyways,
that's not what you said. But
slave. Okay. It is. I was saying that. Maybe you didn't understand me. I was kind of saying that concept.
That's possible. So go ahead.
But the four things that you just mentioned, which were slavery, murder, grape, and stealing. Mm-hmm. Okay, slavery it has to do with the how do you say it? Like, it's not like straight up like murdering or schmurdering or graping or you know what I mean? It's a kind of like life how do you say it? Like it's not like something evil in the sense of smurdering or graping. It is evil. I'm not saying it's not evil. Don't get me wrong. But it's something where like you're living in a situation where you're being upheld to like a certain like life. I'm not saying that this is okay. Like, please don't hear me and say, "Oh, he's saying slavery."
You're saying it's evil, but it's not evil, but it is evil. Is what we've got so far.
So slavery is wrong. Like, it's not okay. But at that time, slavery was a part of the way that they like carried things like weight. You know, they carried weight that way. So, but I'm not saying it's okay, because it's
I'm
not.
confused.
It's not
So,
about what I say, anyways. It's about what the church says.
okay, that's fine. So let me ask you this then, given what you just said. Let's say that God, again, hypothetically here, God came back in 1830 to the American South and said, I'm giving you all an updated version of the commandments, right? And in one of the updated versions of the commandments, he said, okay, what we're going to do, all right, when you buy a chattel slave, you have to make sure that you give him a place to stay.
Gagged on it so hard that it's over.
Crap. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. You got to give him a place to stay. And look, if you beat him, you can only beat him for moderate correction. You know, you can't like schmurder your slave. Yeah, those are the rules for chattel slaves. Would you look at God and be like, shouldn't you be saying slavery bad?
No, because I trust him.
Right. Okay. I don't know where to go from there, because up to this point you've sort of been giving me logical defenses of things. That was sort of just a capitulation of, I don't have an answer, but I just trust God, and if that's all we're going to do, fine. But it just seems like the same argument could be used in the American South, because it's like, oh, well, like plantations, they functioned off of slavery. So like if God came back and gave laws in that context, he couldn't just say, don't own
Dr.
people's
Bowen,
property.
if you know me, I'm so against like functionality and making a lot of money and all these things. Like I'm deeply, deeply, deeply against that. I just want you to know that about me, because it really matters.
I appreciate that. I do.
Like I believe in valuing humans over production.
I mean, I really
So
appreciate
strongly.
that. I mean, that,
So strongly.
I really, really do. Look, and just so it's clear, I'm super duper happy, and I mean that as sincerely as I can, even though super duper didn't sound very sincere. I meant that very sincerely. That you are saying it doesn't matter that the Old Testament seems to say this is okay. Like what I believe is that it's wrong. Like I am so happy that you're saying that there are so many Christians that come up on the stage that go, oh, the Old Testament says it's okay. Well, shit, maybe we ought to do some slavery then. Right. Like, thank you for not being one of those people. I mean that.
I would be going against the church if I was, but yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's great. I think the question is that it just sounds like your interpretive framework, which again, I don't think I think it's a great thing. Your interpretive framework has a way of viewing difficult passages in the Hebrew Bible in such a way so as to say, I view those in light of Genesis 1:26 and 27, right? And so it allows me to kind of like background those and not be overly concerned about them, so I don't have to like uphold them, right? And I know you're saying that through the lens of the church, and I like from that in that respect, I think that's great. But I think what Ape is trying to point out is to foreground those for a minute and say, look, this is what the text actually says. Ape, am I right about that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, like I think it's really just like if you see it from a sense of like, you know, humanity has been so horrific, like over and over and over and over, and continues to be horrific. Like God still like even looks at us, like even just looking at us is like a lot, you know, and he's trying to be with us for forever, which is more than I could ever deserve. So That's
Well,
such a beautiful thing.
how come earlier you were denying all the stuff I read to you that God said you can do?
God does not say, okay, I understand what you're saying. You're reading from the Old Testament and you're seeing like all this stuff that happened and like
Well, you told me
people.
you told me you would go to hell for doing what God said you can do. That's what I was
God did not
really
say
baffled
you.
me.
Okay, hold on a second, Abe. So God said that we can murder and grape and
Let,
Says you
let
can
me
have slaves, yeah.
let me try it this way, Lemon, because this was actually one of the things I was thinking, and then I lost it. Sorry, Abe. Um, the writers and the pastors and the pro-slavery advocates in the American South, one of the things that they hung their hats on was that slavery can't be evil like all these abolitionists are saying. And the reason that it can't be evil is God sanctioned it.
he did not sanction it.
Do
Or
you know what I mean? Do you know
he
what I mean
hold
by
on.
sanction?
Hold on. Yeah, hold on. He
Okay.
did not teach that looking at somebody lower is fine. Is like something that we should do.
I don't know why you
Well,
said that.
I don't
Be-
either.
because what do you
He
mean?
says the whole world's going to lick the dust off the feet of the Israelites.
But I mean, very
That's
concretely,
that's the that's when it
very
comes down to like the Jewish like Israel being
right.
God's chosen people.
Sorry, just more concretely with respect to
It's not the
slaves.
same as slavery.
Right. But with respect to slaves, if you look at Exodus 21, 28 to 32, there's a series of laws there about a goring ox. I don't know if you're familiar with those laws.
Laws
Um,
about an ox, what?
yeah, like it's a negligence law. And basically what it says is if you have an ox that is known to try to gore people, and
Uh-huh.
you're the owner and you don't take the necessary precautions to like pen it up and it gores somebody, you've been negligent. And so now you have damages that have to be paid. So
Okay.
if the ox gores a free person, a free man, a free woman, a free son or daughter, right? And they unalive as a result of the goring,
So you're
then
saying
the
there's a
pen
difference between free versus not free. Right.
that's right. Yeah. So if it gores a free person, the death penalty ensues. So the owner of the ox has his life forfeit. Now he can like buy his way out of that if the family of the unalived person, if the family of the victim allows it, but like they get to set the price of what they'll be willing to take in order for him to buy his way out. But then verse 32 says, and if it gores a slave, then the owner of the ox has to pay 30 shekels of silver to the owner of the slave.
Yeah. So you're being quiet because you want me to say like, is there something you want me like? What do you want me
Sorry.
to? No, it's okay.
No,
Like
you're picking up. Sorry. I clearly have ways that the way that I engage. You're picking up on it. Sorry.
it's very. I mean, people are really letting you do it, and it's like it's
Sorry. Yes.
actually pretty
So,
cool to witness.
what do you think about that in light of like seeing everybody as equal in the law, that sort of thing?
So, obviously, there's a difference in equality there. Like that's just so obvious. Like assuming that what you're saying is true about what it says in and the Pentateuch about that. Um, however, that is not the case. Like there's no like slaves and free and whatever and like God's chosen versus not chosen and if you're looking at it like in the reality, we are all able to be his children. You're muted if you're talking.
Sorry, I was just thinking. I don't know that I understand don't know that I understand how that accounts for the law.
The law
Yeah,
is
we deviated a track. So Dr. Josh made that point to try to get you to understand that when you said earlier that God doesn't look at other people beneath other people, that's just wrong because he's sanctioning the slavery in the Bible. If he's sanctioning that, he definitely thinks that was the point there.
Yeah,
so God looks at people lower than other people.
I think it's a little more
Yeah.
nuanced than that.
So why does he look at all of us equal then? All three of us.
Well, let me say it
He
this way,
doesn't.
and then I'll back out. Sorry, because sorry. Let me say it this way: if you and I were to go back in time right now, and like we went down and we're having a conversation with Thomas Cobb, who wrote this long defense of slavery in 1856 as an attorney. And he was basing his defense of slavery and the laws about slavery and the whole social institution in large measure upon the Bible. And he was making arguments like, look, the Bible says this, and the Bible says that. He would be able to point to a wide variety of passages that say things like, look, here's where you can own debt slaves. Here's where you can own chattel slaves. Here's where you're advised to beat your slaves in order to keep them in line, right? And here's in the New Testament where it says Jesus is assuming the social institution of slavery and equating his disciples with slaves. And he calls us all slaves. And, in other words, his case, he'd be able to build his case as he did upon a very strong foundation of biblical text. And if you and I were going to try to marshal the biblical texts in favor of our position, what we would have to rely on are like reading very, very broadly Genesis 1 about being made in the image of God, and then probably having to tie like Renaissance concepts, broad Renaissance concepts, tying those things together. In other words, from a hermeneutical standpoint, from an exegetical standpoint, Thomas Cobb would win the day.
So, hold on. Well, what is hermeneutical and what is exegetical? Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Hermeneutics is like it's a fancy word, like how you properly interpret the biblical texts according to like context and, like historical context and grammar and syntax and all that stuff.
You mean like reading the language and trying to make it, like to understand it, like
in its context. Yeah.
Oh, in the context of the culture.
Yeah, like when a really easy example of this is like when Elijah says to the widow, "Bake me a cake." Right?
Okay, like why cake?
Cakes.
Like why cake?
Right. He doesn't mean like a frosting on top and birthday candles. Okay. Right. It's a like a piece of bread, right? But the word cake that's used there, we have to read it in its context. Yeah, that's all it means.
I understand. So that's hermeneutical, and then there was another word.
Like what did I say? Exegetical.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah, so exegesis comes from. They're both Greek words, but it's like deriving meaning from the text, as opposed to bringing meaning to the text.
Oh yeah, of course, it should be that way. Yeah.
Yeah. But it
needs to be that way.
But what I'm saying is that he would be able to say, like, I can build a really strong case using the Bible and the laws in the Bible and the things that God says about slavery in the Bible in order to say slavery is not immoral. And we would have a very difficult time building a case saying that slavery is immoral using the Bible.
Except that the Bible teaches that we are all to treat each other equally.
But we're not. Like that's not what the Bible teaches.
So then why are we taught that if we dare to do that to anyone, that it would be a sin?
Oh, sorry. You're talking about what the Catholic Church teaches about the Bible.
Because that's the truth about the whole Bible from the beginning.
Right. I understand. But what you're saying is from your theological perspective, what the church teaches about the Bible is what's true.
It's yes.
Okay. So what I'm saying from like I don't want to say like an academic perspective, but from like not assuming that theological position going in, what the Catholic Church teaches about X passage may not be what X passage was about in its original context.
But it is what it was about.
Right. I know, but you're saying that from that theological position.
But that's the whole point of the Bible.
But you're saying that from that theological position. Let me give you an example. Sorry. I said I was going to leave. I'm so sorry. I like giving this one because it's clear and easy. There's a group, a cult down in Baja, Mexico, and they worship this mid-50s like YT guy with long hair. It's comical, frankly. But anyway, he's supposed to be Jesus reincarnate, and King Arthur as well. It's bizarre. Anyway, but they say that there's a prophecy in Exodus 19 about this guy. His name's Lord Rael. They say there's a prophecy about him in Exodus 19. And if they tell you that, you'll be like, the hell are you talking about? And they'll read it to you and it'll say, God is speaking and he says to the nation of Israel, I brought you up out of Egypt. I bore you on eagle's wings. Right?
Okay.
And there'd be this moment of silence, this mic drop moment. And you'd be like, and they'd say, well, what's on the Mexican flag?
Oh my goodness.
It's an eagle, isn't it?
What does that even have to do with anything?
Right. But
what does it have to do with anything?
No, I hear you. Look, you and I get that, right?
Yeah.
But from their perspective, they believe that Lord Rael only speaks the truth. And that Lord Rael's interpretation of the Bible is the truth. So when he says Exodus 19:1, that's about me. Then from their interpretive vantage point, that's what Exodus 19:1 is about.
I see what you're saying. Like the academic concept, like the idea of like just because somebody says something, does that make it true?
It depends. Yeah, just like you're saying, like for the Lord Rael follower, it does make it true, right? It makes it true for them.
Because they're choosing to have faith in.
That's right. That's precisely right.
And that's terrifying.
I'm not trying, just to be clear, I'm not trying to say that like the Catholic Church's interpretation of the Bible is like that. That's not what I'm saying.
But you're saying the idea of just saying the Catholic Church says it, therefore it's true, is analogous to this follower saying, oh, Lord Rael says it, therefore it's true.
That's right. That's right. Again, I'm not trying to say that there's the same, complete disparity between the texts. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it is the same interpretive framework. Works the same way.
Yeah, like because you're just going to trust whatever he says.
That's right. That's right. Okay. I have taken up way too much of everybody's time. Thank you all for entertaining that. I'm going to get out of your hair and let you guys get on with the perfectly good conversation you were having before I got up here. I'm so sorry that I interrupted it because you guys were doing fine without me.
Oh, please.
Thank you. Lemonice, it was really nice talking to you.
You too, man. Yeah, I remember you. I remember you from, like 3-4 weeks ago?
I want to blame it on the MS that I don't rember.
It was on, here, it was that guy, he's like, heatheny or something.
Oh, okay.
And
what
then
were we
remember,
talking about?
It was like you and like who else was there? There was like, oh my goodness, the transgendered person was there. Oh my goodness, I'm blanking.
Was it Emmy?
Emmy, exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it's ringing a bell. I'm sorry.
We were talking about linguistics and Remember linguistics, being a linguist. You were
Man.
like telling me how like not necessarily somebody's a linguist if they have an undergraduate degree.
Oh, yes. Okay, I do remember that conversation. And
Yep.
I think that anything that I said was absolutely brilliant, right? So, no,
Oh,
just kidding.
well,
Okay.
you are very smart.
Well, that's very kind. All right, well, I'm going to get out of your hair. Thank you all very much for the conversation. Ape, I'm so sorry. Kick me out of here before I take up any more of your time.
Don't be silly.
Thank
Check
you.
it out. Get out of here, scholar bros. Anyway, yeah, he was basically saying the same thing. He was saying you're doing with the Catholic Church what they're doing with Lord Rael in Mexico, basically. He said you're reading it, your truth on the biblical text is seen through the lens of the Catholic Church.
He was giving an analogy of like, you know, if one of the followers is like, hey, you know, you said it's from the Exodus prophecy of the eagle, and there's an eagle on Mexico's flag, and he's saying like,
Right.
if somebody were to just, you know, take that, then they would, it's like the same thing as doing that with if you just say, oh, the Catholic Church says that this prophecy actually, you know, this means that and that means that.
Right, yeah. They're saying it don't actually mean that. Because, in fact, God says if he gives a law in the Old Testament, it is what's doing good and right in his sight. It is just, and you will do it forever. Was God's
Yeah.
exact words.
And he also said that we have a new covenant now.
Yeah, but the laws didn't change in the covenant.
You mean like we're not supposed to eat meat anymore, like pigs meat?
Yeah, if you join yourself to the covenant, you have to obey all the commands. Even
So
Jesus says, not one dot or stroke of a pen will pass from the law until heaven and earth pass away.
So then how come there's the that thing like a tarp that descended from this, and you see the animals and slaughter and eat, which includes
what that
pigs? Like, okay, you know, in the New Testament and the Gospels, there's a vision. I think
So
Peter.
which new covenant are you talking about?
Like the covenant of like where we are now, like the old wineskins versus the new wineskins. You know.
Yeah, just Paul made that up.
Yeah, but it's the idea of like this is a new covenant. It's like you have to be a new wine.
Right. You realize that a new covenant is made in the Old Testament, right?
What do you like? You mean the old covenant?
So there's an actual new covenant formed in the New Testament or the Old Testament that's an eternal covenant. And then the New Testament comes along and says, hey, that new covenant was actually about this guy. That's what the New Testament is. It's reinterpreting the new covenant of the Old Testament to make it about Jesus, but it's not about Jesus. And it never says the law is going away. The only thing that changes in the new covenant is that you are now responsible for your own sins. Like the generational punishments are supposed to stop, and the law is supposed to be written on your heart and on your mind.
Okay.
And not just on tablets.
Oh, well, when you're saying just, you're making it sound like it's such a small change.
It is a small change. That's what it says.
That's a like I don't even have a word for it. Change. Like it's so big. It's like a different thing.
It's a new covenant.
Yeah, but it's even more than just a big change. It's like an entirely new thing.
Yeah, I know. Even God calls it a new thing. In fact, he says, today, I'm doing a new thing. Watch it spring forth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
New covenant and not the old one. He makes a new covenant. Here, we'll just
what do you mean?
Here, let's just read it. It says, the days are surely coming, says the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. It will not be like the covenant that I made with their ancestors when I took them out of the hand, when I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, a covenant that they broke, though I was their husband, says the Lord. But this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, says the Lord. I will put my law within them, and I will write it on their hearts, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. No longer shall they teach one another or say to one another, know the Lord, for they shall all know me, from the least of them to the greatest, says the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity and remember their sin no more. That's it. That's the new covenant. And he also goes on to say,
isn't that
if this
beautiful?
new covenant ever stops, then
it brings
over.
tears.
Israel's never going to be a nation before God ever again.
It brings tears to my eyes. I don't know how you can read something like that and like it moved me.
Jeremiah.
like there's beautiful stuff in our understanding of like religion.
Right. Yeah, but when you take this is when God forms the new covenant with Israel, obviously from Jeremiah, right? But if you take Jeremiah into a whole account, it's not near as pretty as you think it is. In fact, it's quite despicable
You're talking
because
about
this law is despicable. The law is straight up inhumane. And in fact, the whole reason that this new covenant is being formed is because God has put the Israelites into captivity. He's had them raped and pillaged and beaten. He made them eat their own children. So he imprisons them for 70 years. And then after that 70 years, he promises he's going to restore them to Israel, right? So after 70 years, he brings them out of the land of captivity using Cyrus. And then he restores Israel. And this is the covenant that he makes the day that the exiles leave Babylon. But it's not a pretty story. It's disgusting. He's saying this time you're all going to know the law because the entire reason that he did these horrible things to these people is because they stopped keeping his law. In fact, he warned them. He says, if you ever stop keeping this law, I will make you eat your own children. I will siege and destroy this place. I will salt this land and this earth. You will not have a crop to harvest. You will not have an animal to hunt. And they did it. They stopped keeping the law. And he did it. He made them eat their kids. He had Jerusalem destroyed. But, the pretty part is he promises, don't worry, I'm going to bring you back. We're going to try this again. But he also says in this new covenant, if it's broken, here, I'll just read it. It says, if this fixed order were to ever cease from my presence, says the Lord, then the offspring of Israel will cease to be a nation before me forever. And then he talks about Jerusalem being rebuilt and enlarged. And it says, the days are surely coming, says the Lord, when the city shall be rebuilt for the Lord. From the tower of Hananel to the corner gate, and the measuring line shall go out further, straight to the hill Gareb, and then turn to Goah. The whole valley of the dead bodies and the ashes in the fields as far as Wadi Kidron to the corner of the house gate toward the east shall be sacred to the Lord, and it shall never again be uprooted or overthrown. And this is a prophecy, right?
Well, I just feel so grateful that I have the ability to be a part of, the the love of God.
You're seeing love in this story.
I mean, God loves us for sure. There's no denying that.
Do you realize what he said here?
I'm hearing you, and I understand
it
that
says,
there are things
it shall never again be uprooted or overthrown. And if it is, then Israel will never be a nation before me again.
So
you know
that's
how many
why
times Jerusalem's been uprooted and overthrown since the
that's why
Babylonian exile?
We have to respect what God says.
Exactly. So this is over. This covenant was broken.
What do you mean?
This is impossible.
Wait, what do you mean it's over and it's broken?
Here, listen real close. It shall never again be uprooted or overthrown.
So hasn't been uprooted or overthrown.
You're telling me Jerusalem hasn't been uprooted or overthrown in the last 2,500 years?
Are you talking about the physical, city?
Yes, that's what this is talking about. Jerusalem. It says it will be rebuilt and enlarged. From the house of the corner gate out to the field in the hill of Gareb shall turn to Goah. The whole valley of the dead bodies and the ashes and all the fields as far as Wadi Kidron to the corner of the house gate toward the east shall be sacred to the Lord, and it shall never again be uprooted or overthrown. It's talking about a physical place. It's measuring lines from Wadi Kidron. That's Israel. That's Jerusalem.
Yeah, Israel is okay. Hold on. So hold on. Well, can we just take a moment here, because you're talking about Jerusalem, the city, the physical city.
Yeah, that's what this is describing here. The physical city of Jerusalem. He has it destroyed, and then he rebuilds it. And he's saying this time it's going to be rebuilt and enlarged. This is what the new covenant is. It's when the exiles return to Babylon, or return to Zion from Babylon, is what I meant to say there.
The Bible talks about things in a way of deeper points. It's like when they say Israel, there's a deeper understanding. When they say Jerusalem, there's
This
a
is talking
deeper.
about Jerusalem, the city, and it's given measuring lines that will be enlarged, physical measuring lines that are still there today. The
Yeah,
corner of the
because
house gate, that's still there. You can go on a tour and see it right now.
because there's a physical like, for example, the body and blood of Jesus is physically in the bread and wine. For example, the city of Jerusalem is a physical, demarcated.
Yeah, I know. That's what it's talking about. The physical city of Jerusalem.
Yeah, so there are physical things that we have, but there's the deeper understanding, like the deeper point.
What's the deeper point to
I don't
rebuilding the
know.
city and saying that it'll never
I'm
again be uprooted or
I'm not
overthrown?
a PhD, whatever, like the previous
You don't have
guest
to
was.
be. It's obvious that the city has been uprooted and overthrown about 1,000
I
fucking times since
I
then.
I wouldn't say it's obvious because that means that
It
you
is
know.
obvious. Rome destroyed it. They destroyed
Yeah,
the
the
fucking temple. It's
physical,
not even there anymore.
the physical,
Yeah.
yeah, is not the same as the deeper.
Okay, well, show me how you know this isn't talking about something
I
deeper
don't
than what
know,
it's
brother.
actually talking about.
I don't have that, expertise.
Well, then let's just use our basic logic and all we need and say he was definitely talking about Jerusalem being rebuilt after he literally destroyed it. I mean, it's not complicated.
That's not at all how the Bible was written. That's not even close.
Okay, well, tell me how the Old Testament was written then,
It
and
was
what that's
written in
actually talking about.
it was written in such a way that there are things such as Jerusalem, such as lamb, such as Israel, such as just all these different things that are written in the Bible that have deeper
What's the deeper meaning
understandings.
there then?
I
When he
don't
forms this new
know.
covenant,
I don't
well,
know.
then why are you saying there's a deeper meaning if you don't know it? You don't know if
Because
there's
that's
a
how
deeper
the
meaning.
Bible.
You're just saying there is one.
No, I'm saying it because that's the whole point of
But
like
you
this
don't even
faith.
know it, so you're not enlightened on the matter.
I do know that much.
This is just you saying, I don't know why, but I know you're wrong.
It's faith. I have faith in
Well,
God.
I don't know why you would have faith in the face against all this reason here. For thus says the Lord, David shall never lack a man
It's
to
not.
sit on the throne of the house of Israel, and the Levitic priest shall never lack a man in my presence to make burnt offerings, to make grain offerings, and to make sacrifices for all time. You realize God is saying all this stuff is going to happen, and if it ever stops happening, then it's over. Right? That's the actual
Look,
context here in Jeremiah. That's what
I
God's telling them.
I feel comfortable in God. Like I trust Him.
Well, I'm talking about the text here.
Sure, and I know that is a text that we uphold.
So did God give them a prophecy in this new covenant and say Jerusalem's going to be rebuilt and never own her throne again, and the throne of David's never going to lack a man to sit on that throne, and the Levitic priests are going to make sacrifices for all time?
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
So none of that's happening right now. It's gone. It's stopped. This covenant is broken, and Israel will never be a nation before God ever again, according
Okay.
to God.
Okay, and
And this is clearly bogus.
so you're saying that this, because it happened, now it's disproving everything, and you think
Yes,
the religion
yes.
is
This
fake?
is a failed prophecy that obviously got prophesied and obviously isn't happening. So it should be painfully obvious that this isn't true.
So you think that God isn't real, and it's
No,
just
why
not
would
real?
He's given prophecies that clearly didn't happen. And he says even if this does happen, which actually this did happen, but he says it's over. He says if any of this stuff ever stops, Israel will never be a nation before me again. And they stopped. There's no Levitic priest making sacrifices in the temple right now. The temple got destroyed nearly 2,000 years ago.
We make
It's gone.
sacrifices every Sunday. We have sacrifice every Sunday.
The Levitic priest shall never lack a man in my presence to offer burnt offerings, to make grain offerings, and to make sacrifices for all time. The throne of David will never lack a man on the house to sit on the throne of the house of Israel. Is there a throne of David in the house of Israel right now?
I don't know.
There's not. You know there's not. And you know Levitic priests aren't
I
making
don't know.
sacrifices for all time because the temple is destroyed.
I'm being honest. I don't know these things. Like, I'm not smarter than I am.
You do know. It's obvious. Anybody who knows anything about modern or ancient history at all knows this stuff isn't true. The temple is gone. It was destroyed. It says it in the Bible. The Bible tells you it's gone. So how could this prophecy possibly be true if the temple is destroyed?
I don't know.
It can't be. It's simple.
So you're disproving the whole, like, Judaism and
Yeah. This is why I'm not a Christian or a Jew. You can discard the New Testament and still be Jewish, but you can't get to this and remain Jewish if you're counting. Because, I mean, there's all kind of failed prophecies here. They don't work. Like, even in Isaiah, when it's telling this same story, it says Cyrus is going to free the exiles and stuff, which he did. Historically, that happened. But it also says in Isaiah that Babylon's going to reap this awful destruction and the babies are going to be bashed to pieces and the women raped. So what it got right was that Cyrus conquered Babylon. What it got wrong is that Babylon was destroyed, because in reality, Cyrus walked right into Babylon. They opened the doors for him. It wasn't sieged and destroyed. So it got that wrong too. Plus it says Babylon will never be inhabited again. It says no living creature except for some ostriches and jackals will inhabit that land, but people live there right now, actually. That's what I'm saying. This is all a big mess, man. But Jesus makes false prophecy himself in the New Testament. You can go to the New Testament and get a bunch of stuff that never happened. I mean, there's no reason to believe this.
I honestly, I don't think that these prophecies were failed. Like, I don't think failed is the right word. I think it's like they
just didn't happen.
No, like, yes, what you're saying is, it's sensical about, like, you know, about there being people living in Babylon, there being, you know, these things are sensical. The Jerusalem was, you know, the temple was destroyed. There's not Levitical priests, whatever the right word is, you know, offering sacrifice. Like, I hear everything that you're saying. I'm listening to you very carefully. I'm not that educated in this stuff, to be honest with you. That's not.
You don't have to be. You don't have to be a genius or an expert to know that stuff clearly didn't happen.
But people still believe in God, and they still have experiences that show that God is real.
Well, I know, but you're doing it in the face of this is clearly not true. It can't be true. If God was real and these prophecies all came true, we would be able to see that. But what I see is they're clearly failing. And I have no reason at all to think any of this is legit. In fact, it's just bad.
You haven't had a personal experience in your life where...
Yeah, I've had experiences, but I mean, I've had bad experiences with myself too. I can't be trusted in my own head. I need more than my feelings to go off of. I think anybody with any intelligence knows.
But that's not feeling.
You're not supposed to act on feelings and emotions and impulses without thinking about it. You know what I mean?
But that's not feeling. That is your like the truth of like what happened to you. It's not a feeling.
Well, it's I'm saying the experience thing.
Yeah, but you said I shouldn't act on my feelings, which I understand that. But that's not the same thing.
In that circumstance, yeah.
But that was an actual like thing that happened. It wasn't like
but it doesn't mean the Bible was true or it was this God. It just means I had an experience that I obviously misinterpreted if I based it on this all being true. So I have to reevaluate. Because even if this was true and all this happened just like it said, this God's still shitty, man. He's still killing innocent kids. He's destroying Babylon and ordering women raped and babies' brains.
He hasn't killed anyone in my, he's been taking care of us, honestly.
No, he kills lots of, there's one chapter where he kills 70,000 people personally because for the awful crime of counting.
Counting,
that's not cool. Yeah, he told David to take a census of the people. So David goes and counts all the people. And God says, oh, you failed the test. You weren't supposed to count them for whatever reason. And he kills 70,000 people as a result. Because he was mad about David counting the people that God told him to count for some reason. You want to read it? We can go read it.
Yeah, no, I feel like I was on a live before and it was brought up or something like that. It just rings a bell. This story. It's like there are certain stories that.
It's from 2 Samuel 24.
Yeah, but I remember hearing this before at another someone else said it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure plenty of people bring it up because I mean God killed 70,000 people because people got counted. Like what the fuck? This one should come up a lot because it's insane.
I don't understand his decision.
Well, what you do understand is that he's mad because people got counted, so he killed 70,000 innocent people. I mean, what's to understand? It's awful.
Yeah.
Why would you try to read into something like that to make it good when it's obviously a travesty?
It is.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. But I mean, you have God being evil as fuck. You have failed prophecies left and freaking right all over this book. You have historical inaccuracies. I mean, it's just bad. Like I'm saying, man, there's no reason to believe any of this. There's life outside of the Bible.
There is a reason to believe all of this.
Why?
Because it's true.
It's not true, obviously. It can't be true if none of the stuff that is happening like it said it was. How can something be true if it's clearly not true? That makes no sense.
You mean because the prophecies didn't go out the way that
Well, they're making them
should?
up. They're lying about it. They're lying to your fucking face, man. The church, the Bible, the text, the authors, everybody's lying to your face. So you'll believe. I don't even know if they wanted you to believe it. For all I know, this was historical fiction. In fact, it reads like historical fiction. So I don't know if they intended to deceive everybody, but either way, they did it.
So how can my parents be Christian and my grandparents be Christian and my great-grandparents be Christian and going all the way back to paganism, like when they switched from paganism to Christianity? How can all these people be Christian and how can like I pray to Mary and I have something like happen to me after I pray to Mary?
Well, pray to Mary right now and see if something happens when it matters.
Like, you want me to like test God?
Yeah,
Is that
pray. Yeah, like pray.
Like test God?
Pray my hat flies off my head.
Yeah, so test God is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yeah, God
testing
don't
God.
care.
You're not supposed to do that.
That's not true either. God
I mean, God can do it.
God lets people test him all the time in the Bible. He tells Ahaz to test him. He says, "Ask for a sign," and Ahaz says, "No, I won't do it."
Well, why don't you ask for a sign?
Who was the other guy? Gideon. Gideon tested God. He said, "I tell you what, God, I will do this. I'm going to lay this fleece down, and if like one side of it's wet and the ground's not," he says, "then I'll take that as your sign." He tested God twice. God don't care for you testing him.
But
God
it says
tells
not
you to test him.
It says not. When Jesus was tempted by the devil.
I know that's the New Testament because it's lying about the Old Testament. That's how I know it's all lies. It has no idea what it's talking about when it comes to the New Testament. All you got to do is read it.
Maybe because we don't understand.
I got a good one. You're a Catholic, right? So your whole denomination swings on the virgin birth, doesn't it?
Yes, that's right.
All right. So where in the Hebrew Bible is a prophecy about a virgin birth?
Can I just say really quick, and I would love to hear what you have to say. I'm not a Christian nationalist at whatsoever, like zero. Okay.
Thank fuck for that.
And I'm also not MAGA, and I never will be. Like I will never be MAGA. So I just want you to know that.
Glad.
Yeah, I would never. I would never. But anyways,
thanks. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
go vote.
Oh,
anyway, do you know where in the Hebrew Bible there's a prophecy about the virgin birth of a Messiah?
Is it in like Isaiah or something where it says like and the virgin
supposedly in Isaiah, yeah.
And the virgin will give birth or something?
Yeah,
the virgin will be a child.
And Luke says that Jesus was born from a virgin because there's a prophecy about the virgin birth of a Messiah, right?
Wait, sorry. I was reading the comments. People keep commenting on me, like.
Yeah.
But yeah,
about the comments.
I don't know. Maybe I should just cover them because it's just like it's. I'm not that like sharp or whatever with my brain to like read comments and listen to you and pay attention 100%. So maybe I'll
Right.
cover. Although I have been paying attention really well to you. But it's hard. So let me just cover. I'm going to cover the comments. Okay, go ahead. So you're saying in the Old Testament about the prophecy
Yeah,
about.
I'm saying the New Testament is straight up lying to you about some kind of prophecy about the virgin birth of a Messiah in the Old Testament, because it does not exist. It's not in there.
It says the virgin shall be with child, right?
Nope.
Okay, let's see here. Assuredly, my sovereign will give you a sign. Nonetheless, look, the young woman is with child and about to give birth to a son. Let her name him Emmanuel. Hold on a second.
That's what the actual Hebrew says. And that's
Hold on a second. I've never seen this.
I know you haven't, because the church lies to you. That's why people are still Christians, because they've been lied to the last 2,000 years by the church.
So this thing that you have on
and
the
this
screen,
isn't even a secret, is the sad part. Like, you can just go read it.
So this thing that you have on the screen, is this from the Bible?
This is from Isaiah chapter 7, verse 14. This is what Matthew and Luke say is a prophecy about a virgin birth of a Messiah.
Hold on.
And here's the thing. If you actually read it, especially in Hebrew, the Hebrew demands that this be read just like this. Look, the young woman is with child and about to give birth to a son. This doesn't suggest anything about a virgin. In fact, it goes against that, because this woman is pregnant and about to have a kid.
I'm struggling to find Isaiah. Hold on. Isaiah. Is it before or after Psalms?
Before it, I think.
Okay. Oh, it's after. Hold on. And then which chapter?
Chapter 7, verse 14.
Okay, and then which verse?
14.
14. 5, 6, 7, 14. So here we go. 14. Hold on a second. I got my light. 14. Therefore, the Lord himself will give you a sign. The young woman pregnant and about to bear a son shall name him Emmanuel. Hold on, but this is not the right one.
Don't say virgin, does it?
It says the virgin shall be with child.
Somewhere. It says that in Matthew, but it doesn't say that in Hebrew.
No, I think it's in the Old Testament.
I know. It's in Isaiah 7. That's what Jesus is supposed to be fulfilling, these prophecies. And Matthew is literally quoting these as Jesus having fulfilled these prophecies. So how is it possible that Jesus is fulfilling a prophecy about the virgin birth of a Messiah when this doesn't say anything about a virgin or a Messiah?
Because this is not the one. Like, there's one where it says the virgin shall be with child.
Okay, show us that.
Okay. Let me look it up on my phone because it's easier.
You understand this is the same verse, right? This is literally what we're looking at. What up, Cam? It's a long stream today.
My version of the Bible that I have here in my bedroom, it also says young woman. It doesn't say virgin for me.
I know. Yeah, there's no prophecy in the Hebrew Bible about a virgin giving birth to a Messiah. That's not what this is about. And even the versions of the Bible that do translate this as a virgin, they do that as a matter of tradition to keep people deceived. They're changing the words here. But even if it did say virgin, it makes no difference at all, because this is not a prophecy about a Messiah. This is a prophecy about the Assyrian invasion into Judah. It has nothing to do with a Messiah. Never suggests anything about a Messiah anywhere, in fact.
I don't know.
No, that's what I'm saying. You've been lied to, man. You've been duped, just like I was for 20 fucking years.
I mean, I've had personal experience with praying to Mary.
Well, that's fine, but that doesn't change the word. Your personal experience doesn't make this a prophecy about a Messiah, does it?
But that pointed me to that faith. Like, so it does to me.
Okay, so this means a virgin Messiah is going to be born to you because you had an experience.
Wait, you mean born to me?
I'm saying you had this experience. So in your mind, this is a prophecy about a virgin birth of a Messiah.
I don't know. Like, I want to be, I don't know.
Well, it's not. It can't be. And you know it's not. It's on the screen right here for you to look at. This don't
It
say
says
nothing
young
about a
woman.
virgin. This says a woman is pregnant and about to give birth to a son. Let her name him Emmanuel. Jesus was not named Emmanuel to start
Right.
with. Nobody ever calls him Emmanuel. And this doesn't say virgin. There's a word for virgin. This is the word right here that it's translating. It says ha alma. That means the young woman in Hebrew. This is hurrah. This means she's pregnant. And then vuyoladet means and about to give birth to a son. That's how you translate these two right here. About to give birth to a son. It doesn't say virgin. It doesn't suggest virgin. So why in the world is the New Testament saying this is a prophecy about the virgin birth of a Messiah when it clearly has nothing to do with that?
I don't know.
It's because they're lying. That's why.
For real, I've had an experience where when I was agnostic, and then I wasn't anymore agnostic after that experience. But everything has
I get
made
you had
sense.
an experience, but there's no prophecy about the virgin birth of a Messiah anywhere in the Bible. So the Catholic faith falls by the wayside. This clearly isn't true. Your entire Catholicism is built on a lie.
It can't not be true. There's no way.
It can not be true, and you're looking at it right now. I get that it's hard to deal with. I understand it. I've dealt with it the same way you probably are right now in your head. Like, this don't make any sense. How could this be true? So you're like, it can't be true. I've known it to be true my whole life. So now you're just kind of struggling in your head with why this doesn't make any sense. And you know it doesn't make sense.
But what if she's a virgin, this woman?
She's not a virgin. Where would you get that from?
Because what if that's just the truth, even if it doesn't say it?
It's not the truth. Why would it be the truth if it doesn't say that?
Like if somebody doesn't
they
say,
would say, look, a virgin is going to get pregnant and conceive a son, and he will be a Messiah. That's what it would say if it was actually true to the New Testament. But it doesn't say that. This says a young woman is about to give birth to a child. Let her name him Emmanuel.
it doesn't.
And it goes on to say, by the time he knows how to refuse evil and choose good, the two kings whose land you are in dread will be deserted. That's it. That's the whole prophecy. It's about the Assyrian invasion into Judah. It don't have anything to do with the
I'm just saying,
Messiah or a virgin.
I'm saying just because somebody doesn't comment on whether or not she's a virgin doesn't make her not a virgin.
It doesn't make her a virgin, and it's not talking about that.
But it also
doesn't make this about a Messiah just because the New Testament says it is. It clearly is not about that.
It doesn't make her not a virgin either, or a virgin.
You know they have a word for virgin, right? You know Isaiah uses the word for virgin. It's Betula in Hebrew. He uses the word. If he meant virgin right here, he would have said virgin.
Okay. Sure. I mean, I don't know if he would have. I don't know, man. Like, all I know is that this faith is real, and I'm being honest with you. Like, it really is.
Well, this prophecy is not about the virgin birth of a Messiah, no matter your experience and no matter what the church says. The words on the page right here. This is from the Leningrad Codex. Every modern Bible is translated from this text up here.
Yeah.
This is what every Bible is translated from. And it says, Bine ha'alma hara vuyoladet bain. That means the young woman is pregnant and about to give birth to a son. It does not mean a virgin is going to give birth to a Messiah.
Yeah.
And it has nothing contextually to do with Messiah's coming.
Well,
it's about a war.
Hold on a second.
This is a prophecy about a war.
The contextual, it's if you're going to talk about contextual, surrounding of the words, then you have to look at not only the whole book of Isaiah, but rather the entire, the entire.
I know exactly what that's talking about. You want to read the whole chapter? I'll read it with you right now.
The whole chapter of Isaiah, chapter 7.
Well, Well, I'll tell you what. We can read. It'll take me like 3 minutes, and I'll read
Okay,
the whole verses all the way through the prophecy there. And you tell me if this
hold on.
sounds like it has anything to
Hold
do with the Messiah.
Okay, I got my Latin. Chapter 7. Okay, the Syro-Ephraimite War. Okay.
Yeah. In the days of Ahaz, son of Jotham, son of Uzziah, king of Judah, King Rezin of Aram, and King Pakal, son of Remaliah, went up. Uh, damn it. Pakal, son of Remaliah of Israel, went up to attack Jerusalem, but could not mount an attack against it. When the house of David heard that Aram had allied itself with Ephraim, the heart of Ahaz and the heart of his people shook as the trees of the forest shake before the wind. So far, this is saying that King Rezin and King Pakal are attacking King Ahaz in Judah, and Ahaz is really, really scared. It says him and the heart of his people are shaking like trees in the forest before the wind. It says, Then the Lord said to Isaiah, Go out and meet Ahaz, you and your son Shear-Jashub, at the end of the conduit of the upper pool on the highway to the foolish field, and say to him, Take heed, be quiet, do not fear, and do not let your heart be faint because of these two smoldering stumps of firebrands, because the fierce anger of Rezin of Aram and the son of Remaliah, because Aram with Ephraim and the son of Remaliah has plotted evil against you, saying, Let us go up against Judah and cut off Jerusalem and conquer it for ourselves, and make the son of Tabeel king in it. So far, King Rezin, King Pakal are attacking King Ahaz in Judah. And it says Ahaz is really scared. So God sends Ahaz to reassure King Ahaz, or God sends Isaiah to reassure King Ahaz that it shall not stand and it shall not come to pass, for the head of Aram is Damascus, and the head of Damascus is Rezin. Within 65 years, Ephraim will be shattered, no longer a people. The head of Ephraim is Samaria, and the head of Samaria is the son of Remaliah. If you do not stand firm in faith, you shall not stand at all. So that's the first part of this prophecy here. King Rezin, King Pakal are attacking King Ahaz in Judah so they can conquer it and install Tabeel as a king there, like a client king. Now, here comes the actual prophecy. It says again, the Lord spoke to Ahaz, saying, Ask a sign of the Lord your God, let it be as deep as Sheol or as high as heaven. But Ahaz said, I will not ask, and I will not put the Lord to the test. Then Isaiah said, Hear then, O house of David, is it too little for you to weary mortals, that you weary my God also? Therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. Look, the young woman is with child, and shall bear a son, and shall name him Emmanuel. He shall eat curds and honey, and by the time he knows how to refuse the evil and choose the good. For before the child knows how to refuse the evil and choose the good, the land before whose two kings you are in dread will be deserted. The Lord will bring on you and your people and your ancestral house such days have not come since the day that Ephraim departed from Judah, the king of Assyria. That's it. That's the whole prophecy.
Yeah. Wait, the king of Assyria. Okay, but then there's still some more left of chapter 7. Okay. I am following with you, and I'm reading...
Yeah, it just goes on to say that on the day the thistles will fly and the sources of the streams of Egypt. Like, this prophecy is fulfilled in the next chapter. The people cry out Emmanuel. That's the whole point, and they win the war. But like what we read up there is King Rezin and King Pakal are attacking Ahaz in Judah. So God sends Isaiah to reassure King Ahaz with a sign that they'll be saved from Judah. That's it. That's the whole prophecy. It doesn't have nothing to do with the virgin or Messiah.
Well, God is going to come with us to save us from... it's like the concept of God saving us from the Babylon. The new Babylon, like America. Like just the evilness in the world.
God didn't save us from that.
I mean, that's what Jesus is here for. Like he came here to save us.
Jesus didn't save you from that either. Jesus says you're supposed to suffer and die for him. Don't have nothing to do with easing your woes and you living a happy life.
Yeah, in this life, I agree with you that we are suffering in this life. But in the next life, that's where we get our peace. And
well, that's great. But what does this have to do with the Virgin or Messiah?
I mean, it's the idea that God is going to save us. Like, God is with us. You know, the word Emmanuel means God is with us. So, yeah.
And when is God with them? Why did God send this sign to Ahaz?
Why did he send this sign to Ahaz? I guess to save them, like to so they can win the war, right?
Yeah, he reassured them that by the time this child knows how to refuse evil and choose good, the two kings who are attacking you are going to have their lands deserted. That's it. That's
Okay.
the whole prophecy.
Okay.
Contextually, how does
But
this
that
possibly have
yeah.
anything to do with the virgin birth of a Messiah?
Okay, I understand. I totally get what you're saying. So it's not about that. Like that part was fulfilled, yes, but the child is understood to be, like the child is understood to be the Christ.
Why? Make that make sense.
Because we believe that the incarnation is the ultimate expression of God's willingness to be with us. I'm reading, to be with us. Like, God is with us, Emmanuel.
Yeah, but
With us
Emmanuel's
is,
not Jesus. Emmanuel is a sign for King Ahaz.
yeah, but since like we understand like it that way, then it's understandable that this text was interpreted to refer to the birth of Christ.
Yeah, so why in the world would you interpret a text about an Assyrian invasion as something about Jesus?
That's how they did it back then. They wrote things, and it's like
That's what I'm saying. They're just lying about it. They have no idea what's happening in this chapter or why God sent the sign of
well,
Emmanuel to
it's
King Ahaz in the first place. This don't have nothing to do with the Messiah.
I'm sure you probably can tell that I have faith, and I'm not like the most academic scholarly person at all, not even close.
You
But
don't have to be. I'm not either.
well, I mean, but then how am I gonna like talk, and then I have all your viewers being like, "Oh, this guy doesn't even know," they're commenting on what if I don't know. But the idea is like they had this war, and this could have been the end, and God saved them. So it's like the same thing. Like we have sin, it could be the end.
Yeah,
We go
God
to hell.
saved them from Assyria.
Yeah,
Happy
and which
ending.
is
Yay.
so, in the same way we have sin, and God is saving us.
Yeah, but there's no reason contextually to interpret this as a prophecy about the virgin birth of a Messiah. It makes no sense at all.
You mean contextually with regards to almost being obliterated?
In regards to a virgin giving birth to Messiah, it don't have
It
anything
doesn't
to do
say
with either of those.
it doesn't use any indication to say whether or not this woman was a virgin. It doesn't say that.
I know. That's my point. That the New Testament's lying about it. And
No,
in
not
fact, the only
lying.
two gospels, they are lying. And the only two gospels that even give an account of the
Lying is
virgin birth
different.
is Luke and Matthew, and they don't match each other. They're wrong. Only one of them can be true because they put them in two different time periods.
Okay, tell me. I'm gonna flip to Luke and Mark.
Matthew.
Well, I'm already at Mark right now.
Well, there's no virgin birth story in Mark.
Okay, so Luke then. Go ahead, please. Can you tell me where in Luke?
Chapter 3 is where it's in Luke, and chapter 1 is where it's at in Matthew.
Oh, it's
But
Matthew.
I'm saying Matthew puts Jesus being born in the lifetime of Herod the Great, and Luke puts Jesus being born during the census of Quirinius. That's impossible because Herod died 10 years before the census of Quirinius. So either Luke is right and Matthew is wrong, or Matthew is right and Luke is wrong, but they can't both be right. But they're clearly both making up a prophecy about the virgin birth.
That's
so
not
they're both wrong.
That's not the only place in the Bible where that happens. I feel like I've noticed where it's like
It is.
No, I feel like there's even more scientifically like impossible things that happen in the Bible where it's like, one
there's a
person.
bunch of them. Yeah,
Yeah, where it says
anachronisms and historical inaccuracies. And
yeah,
stuff.
for example, like there was one about the demoniac and like across the water or something. There was a demoniac that like broke the chains and stuff. But then in another account, there was like two people or something. You know what I mean? Like it's just scientifically like either this was a different. Maybe they just didn't see the other one, or maybe it was a different.
Or maybe they were just making it up.
I mean, I can see why you would say that. I guess it's just a matter of
should
like.
Be pretty obvious why I'm saying that at this point.
Yeah, no, same to me. I'm also like, wait a minute, like
so
this.
They're both telling a story about the virgin birth of a Messiah, which doesn't exist in the Hebrew Bible. So they've both made that part up, and one is saying it happened in this time period, one is saying it happened in that time period. So it's not possible that both of them are right. I don't think it's possible that either one of them are right, but they can't both be right.
Both be right.
Comparing them together.
Yeah. And yet they are both accepted to be in the Bible.
Well, they are both in the Bible.
Right. No, I know that.
Each other.
I'm saying like the fact that they're both in the Bible, which means that they're both right.
They're both wrong. It's still in the Bible, but they're both wrong. The New Testament is lying about the Old Testament. The New Testament don't have a clue what's going on in the Old Testament. Even Jesus quotes these prophecies wrong. He says the first verse in Isaiah 53 is a prophecy. This is Jesus himself, by the way. He says one verse in Isaiah 53 is a prophecy coming true about people seeing him do wonders but not believing it. That is utterly ridiculous. One line is not a prophecy. So
Isaiah
Jesus
50.
don't even know what he's talking about.
So Isaiah chapter 53, verse 1.
Yeah. Jesus claims, and I think it's Mark or John chapter 12, that that's a prophecy about people seeing but not believing. The first verse.
The first verse of chapter 53, or?
Yeah, verse 1 in Isaiah 53. Jesus says that's a prophecy about him.
Who would believe what we have heard? To whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed?
Right.
So it's the
That's
part
verse
where
1. That's not even a statement. It's questions. It's rhetorical questions. So Jesus thinking that this is a prophecy about him is utterly ridiculous.
But I mean, even though it's a question, it's still it's talking about the arm of the Lord being revealed to somebody. The arm of the Lord.
Yeah, no, it's there for a reason. Jesus just don't know the reason. That's my point.
So what is the reason then, according to you?
It's in chapter 52.
52?
Yeah, verse 10. It tells you who the arm of the Lord is being revealed to.
The Lord has bared his holy arm in the sight of all the nations. All the ends of the earth can see the salvation of our God. That sounds like 100% Christianity right there. To me.
Well, yeah, it's not.
How can it not be?
Because I know the context of this story.
So show me another.
And it's telling you right here, this is the answer to the questions in verse 1 of chapter 53, the Suffering Servant song. It says, the Lord has bared his holy arm before the eyes of all nations, and all the nations shall see the salvation of our God, right? The point of Isaiah is that the entire world sees this salvation on the day that the exiles leave Babylon. That's the point of this. So why in the world does Jesus think this is about people seeing him do wonders and not believing it, when it's telling you what this is about in Isaiah?
Yeah, but the whole point of prophecy is that, yes, it's telling you what it's about, but there's also a prophecy. Like, it's
okay,
both.
Jesus says this is a prophecy about seeing and not believing. So where is that suggested anywhere in Isaiah?
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not like a biblical scholar.
You don't have to be. It's not in there.
Well, you seem like you are. I'm not.
Well, I've just read it. I don't know the context. I can coincidentally read some biblical Hebrew, but that's what I'm telling you. Jesus is just wrong. You can't say one line as a prophecy about me and I'm fulfilling it, and then go read the prophecy and it's not even a prophecy. Like, there's nothing here being fulfilled about people seeing and not believing. That's not what this is about. In fact, Isaiah is about the opposite. This is about the whole world seeing this and believing it and coming to Yahweh through the Israelites. That's the whole point of this. It says God is going to be glorified through Israel, because the entire earth is going to be so shocked when they see this thing that they're all going to come to Yahweh. They're still going to lick the dust off the feet of the Israelites, but they will be welcomed into the covenant, and the whole world is supposed to know peace. In fact, an eternal covenant, the new covenant, is formed in Isaiah chapter 54, the very next chapter, is when God makes the eternal covenant with Israel.
I mean, I guess I just don't understand why you're saying that this is not a prophecy and it's not. It's not. Yeah.
Well, it's not a prophecy. It's a song. It's the Suffering Servant song. And that's just the context. Like I said, this is what happens in chapter 54. It says, this is like the days of Noah to me, just as I swore that the waters of Noah would never again go forth over the earth. So I have sworn that I will not be angry with you, and I will not rebuke you. For the mountains may depart, and the hills may be removed, but my steadfast love shall not depart from you, and my covenant of peace shall not be removed, says the Lord, who has compassion on you. See what I'm saying? He's forming an eternal covenant with Israel when they leave Babylon. And this happened 500 years before Jesus. So he's telling them 500 years before Jesus come along that he is never going to be angry with or rebuke them ever again. He also says you will never be ashamed or confounded ever again. This happens in Isaiah, right?
Okay.
So it's impossible. They have been confounded and put to shame about 1,000 times since then.
Like what? Like give me one time.
Like the Holocaust, man.
Dude, the Jews are not real. That's not the real Jews. Like it's now
okay, any of them.
What do you mean?
You're telling me the real Jews have not experienced any pain or woes or been put to shame in the last 2,500 years?
Again, you remember how I was saying, like, the Bible, it's not me saying it. Like, the church teaches us that the Bible, whatever is written in the Bible has a deeper,
you should just read the Bible yourself.
Reality.
Stop listening to what the church is telling you about it.
But it makes sense that a very epic religious textbook has a deeper reality behind each thing.
Well, it don't. It tells you what it means. Like, the context is clear here. God is telling you all this so you can comprehend what he's telling you and do it. This isn't like something to be interpreted. Like, it's telling you straight up what God wants from you.
There's a deeper reality than a Jewish person claiming to be Jewish, which it's not true, by the way. You know, all these people that are claiming to be Jewish nowadays are not.
Who the real Jews
it's not
are.
real.
This is about the covenant that God forms with them, and it clearly did not happen.
That's not true, because you're talking about people who claim to be Jewish.
Has the Israelites been confounded and put to shame in the last 2,500 years? Any of them?
Oh, you mean
any of them?
Has
Jerusalem been rebuilt and overthrown?
Give me an example of what you're talking about. That's not like a modern person saying that they're Jewish.
That's not the point here. I'm not talking about who the real Jews are. I'm talking about what God promised Israel in the Bible.
So give me one example of where it's not being upheld, like the promise of God is not being
Jerusalem has been overthrown about 1,000 times since the exiles left Babylon. The temple was destroyed.
Yeah, the temple was destroyed after or right when Jesus
They have been confounded and put to shame. God has been angry with them again.
Okay, go ahead. Please tell me when.
I just did.
What, you said when the temple was destroyed, when Jesus died?
It was destroyed 50 years after Jesus died.
I thought it was the wall was torn and destroyed right at the moment that he died.
The curtain was torn when he was crucified. The temple was destroyed.
Wasn't the... Oh, okay. See, I'm not sure about that.
That was supposed to be something that happened during the crucifixion. And then there was an earthquake when they tried to get him out of the tomb. And there was 3 hours of darkness from a supposed eclipse. None of that ever happened.
From 12 to 3.
No.
Yeah,
there was never a 3-hour period of darkness in Jerusalem. No historian ever records such a thing.
My AP biology teacher told me to pray to Mary, to my mother, Mary, and I did that.
Pray to Mary.
That's what he told me to do, and I did it in 2009, and I got my faith back. I used to be agnostic.
Because you prayed to Mary?
Yes. Not making it up.
I mean, I believe you. I don't think you're making it up. It sounds blasphemous as hell.
I mean, that's because you probably come from a Protestant background and they're teaching you that...
Well, it's because I read the Bible. I know what you're supposed to be doing.
Well, the Bible never says... It says to not worship somebody, but it doesn't say to not ask somebody to pray to you for you.
It says you shall have no idolatry or put anything before God. So, I mean, if you're praying to a woman who's definitely not God, that's you going directly against God's orders.
You know, praying to doesn't mean worshiping her. It means asking her to pray for us.
You're seeking exoneration outside of God.
What is it? Seeking what?
Exoneration.
What does that mean?
Just means you're looking for, like, asking somebody who's not God for some kind of divine favor or presence or something. But
for her
anyway,
intercession.
Durango wanted to ask you something real quick.
It's an intercession, but okay.
Hey, Lemonice, how are you, buddy?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good.
Ask
real
him
quick,
before.
like I appreciate like how you come up here and been calm and willing to listen. But going kind of back to the prophecy of the Virgin Mary, of the Virgin Mother, there's a point that you said that it does not specifically say that she's a virgin, but you have to like really like read it and think about it for a second, because it says, look, the young woman is with child. So if you're sitting there having a like conversation with somebody and you're trying to relay information to somebody and you just say look for no reason, right? Like, look at what am I looking at? Well, they're looking at the young woman who's standing there with them at the time. Now I know you may say that it doesn't specify that, but there's no other reason for that to be there, for them to say look, as
Well,
in,
look,
hey,
it's
right here, look here, right here, the young woman is with child. So this woman right here is with child, right? If she is with child, she can't be a virgin now, can she? Unless you
um.
want to say that there are more than one immaculate conceptions within the Bible.
Oh, when you say look, you mean there's an actual physical person there?
Why else would the word look be used in the prophecy there? Why else would that be spoken to Ahaz? Why else would they have said look? Otherwise, he would have said, hey, there is a woman in your kingdom. There is, that will give birth. But he's saying, look, what do we do when we look, right? We see what's around us. So if I am looking, I'm seeing that here, somewhere close within
So,
my proximity, that I can actually see somebody right there in that proximity is
so,
with child, is pregnant.
so what you're saying is like because it says look, therefore that was an actual like physical person.
Yeah, it's present tense. She's
Yes.
standing there at the moment. That's what that word hene in Hebrew means. It means behold. That means to look at, like look at something.
Mm.
So, and it says the young woman is like present tense, is right now. So if she is pregnant, then she can't be a virgin, right? Unless you want to claim that there is more than one immaculate pregnancy within the Bible. With which in that case, if that's what you want to say, then you've been worshiping the wrong God during this whole time, because you should be worshiping Emmanuel and not Jesus Christ.
Let me see. I'm going back to there. So it's Isaiah chapter, is it
7.
7? Thank you. Okay.
Not to mention, I think even Justin would agree with me when he says Emmanuel was probably Isaiah's son. Some scholars think it's either Isaiah or Ahaz's son. I think it's Isaiah's son, personally, because in the next chapter it says, these sons of mine are signs and portents from Israel, or from God to Israel.
And that's a person who actually would have been in the line of David. That person actually would have been, if that's the case.
Yes. Ahaz was
And
from Judah. Yeah, he was from
and
the line of Judah.
Jesus is not in the line of David. Period. There's no way that you can come to that at all from what
There's no look.
is given in the New Testament.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I don't see look here at all.
You don't say look in Isaiah 7:14?
No. I see here, therefore, I'll just read it to you. Therefore, the
Oh,
Lord.
he meant in the Hebrew. You're right. It won't say look sometime in some translations, yeah.
Mine
I'm
says,
talking about in the Hebrew.
okay, mine says, therefore, the Lord himself will give you a sign. The young woman, pregnant and about to bear a son.
Oh, wait. Yeah, it does say look. It
Where?
says look.
Where?
Therefore, the Lord himself will give you a sign. Look,
Alright.
the young woman is with
There's
child
no
and shall bear a
look.
son.
There's no
There's a
look.
look. There's a look.
For me, it says the young woman, pregnant and like when I say the young woman,
What
meaning
are you
there's
reading
no.
out of?
I'm reading out of the New American Bible.
But anyways, that was my point. I got to go back to work. I think that's important to point out, that if you're going to read that, you need to look at it in the Hebrew, and you need to like carefully study what is being said. Like we hear this from Christians all the time, that we don't. We're just reading it and taking it at face value, but we actually try to understand what is being said there. We don't just read it and take it at face value. Like, we're looking and reading between the lines as well, just like you guys are. You make your own inferences, we make our inferences, but
Yeah, it's right here in the Hebrew. It's that word right there.
Hana?
Hine.
Hine?
Hine.
Okay.
Yeah. That means
Hine.
behold or to look. Look, the young
So
woman.
if someone says like Hine, like they're like, look and behold what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like Hine matov uvanayim shevet achim gam yachad. It means like, look how beautiful and how nice it is to be brothers with each other, or something like that. Like, it's the concept of like, pay attention, or like, listen to look what I'm saying to you. You know,
either
look what
way,
I'm
the word's there. If it don't have something for that in your translation, it's just a bad translation.
No. They removed it probably so people don't misunderstand what was being said. You know, when they say Hine, it's like the idea of like,
that's
look,
not what's being said. It took a word out.
That's not how translating works. You have to convey it in a way that
if you're translating accurately, you're supposed to accurately convey
what's actually being said. Like, if they're saying Hine and they mean, if they mean like, you know, behold what I'm about to tell you, you know.
So if the word Hine is there and it means something to behold or look, and then it's translated and the word is completely absent, that means they've taken it out.
You already said it wrong from the beginning. Like, if somebody is saying Hine, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're talking about a physical thing in front of you.
Yes, it does. They were talking about the woman.
Yeah, they are talking about a woman, but that's the
they're talking about the woman who was standing there currently.
Proclamation.
They said, look, this young woman is with child.
Like, Hine the proclamation is what I'm saying. Like, Hine the proclamation. Like behold the proclamation.
I know. I can read it. I know what it means.
No,
I know
I'm
how
just
it's being used.
Well, okay. Well, then that's a humble way to say it, because if you don't know how it's being used, you shouldn't say it's being used this way.
I do know how it's being used.
You do know? I thought you just said you don't.
I said I do know.
Oh, you do know.
Yes, I know how it's being looked. It's contextually accurate. That's how they know what all this stuff meant, through the context that it's being used in. If you look in a lexicon, it'll give this as an example where this is being used to say, put your eyes right there.
Yeah, but it could mean, behold what I'm telling you.
Yeah, they can use it in different contexts. That's what I'm saying. But it's not being used in this context here. If you look in a lexicon, it gives you different contexts that the word is used in. It doesn't just give you straight up definitions of the word necessarily in the lexicon. It's telling you how it's being used.
Okay, sir. Show it to me, please. I want to see it.
It's right there. Look,
no.
The young woman is with child.
Yeah, but show me the lexicon.
To show you. Just go to the
show me,
Blue Letter Bible.
I'm saying prove to me that Hine means behold physically rather than behold what I'm about to tell you.
It's in the context. That's what I'm telling you. Read the sentence. It says, look, the young woman is with child and about to give birth to a son.
It says here, therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. The young woman, pregnant and about to bear a son, shall name him Emmanuel.
Right. It's saying this young woman who's standing right here currently
that's not what
is pregnant and about to give birth. Yes, it is.
No, it's not. It's just because they say Hine doesn't mean that it's an actual physical thing. Anyways.
Yeah,
it's not talking about a physical woman and child.
Yes, it is.
Because there was only one.
You're just wrong. How long have you been taking Hebrew for?
I can read and write it, kind of. Like, I can look at the letters and like understand, the letters.
Why are you disagreeing with the context?
I also speak Arabic. I also speak Arabic, which is a Semitic language.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So why are you disagreeing with the context and the sentence structure here?
Well, dude, this is from 2,000 years ago. If somebody says
longer than that,
or whatever, yeah, sure. Sorry, it's from longer than that. But if somebody says something like a long time ago, it's not the same as today in the age of science and physicality. Like, now we're so into like microscopes and telescopes and studying things that way. But in the past, they were not. Yeah, Arabic is an Afro-Asiatic language. Whoever said that in Infexus. It's a Semitic language, just like Hebrew is.
Yeah. So you're now arguing that this isn't talking about an actual woman here now.
I mean, this was from years and years and ages, like times and times and times ago, like when times changed.
It was from the time of Isaiah.
Yeah, at that time, things were not scientific like they are now. So if somebody says "behold" and
you don't need science, you just need the sentence structure.
This is not about a sentence structure because "hine" is "behold."
Well, that's kind of contested now, but yeah.
So okay, we can't say either way. Like you can't tell me it means physical. You know,
you can't tell me this means Virgin Messiah is giving birth. Is what you can't tell me, and that's the whole point here.
But it could mean that.
No, it couldn't.
It's not necessitated.
Nothing in Hebrew says this is about the virgin birth of Messiah. Hebrew demands that you recognize this as a young woman who is currently pregnant at that moment.
Nope. This is where it doesn't necessitate that. But it doesn't necessitate that.
Ha'alma hara means the young woman pregnant.
Okay. That doesn't necessitate.
She is pregnant. She is currently pregnant.
But that doesn't necessitate that.
Means giving birth or about to give birth.
I understand, brother.
About to give birth. That means she is currently pregnant and just about to
give birth. Like it's like a futuristic vision of the future.
No, it's a present tense.
Yes, but that's how they talked thousands of years ago. It's different.
When they're talking about what? They have future tense, you know.
Like people who are prophesying, 3,000 years ago or whenever this happened, they can suddenly start talking about the future.
There's perfect, imperfect, and participle, right?
Yeah, because the way you're saying it is a scientific use of language, but they're
not. It's just the sentence structure. They have future tense. If they were saying this woman will become pregnant, they would have spoke that way, but it doesn't. It says this woman is pregnant.
I do understand the point that you're making. You are saying that the sentence structure grammatically is referring to the present moment. I understand that. I'm a linguist. I literally am. And I understand what you're saying, and I'm not like ignoring you or whatever. I'm just saying that if somebody
but
uses
you're saying I'm wrong.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying that your claim that this necessitates that this is a present tense physical woman.
It does, and it is, because it is used as she is currently pregnant. This young woman is pregnant.
And that's where I disagree with that necessitating that. Like what you're saying is that it
Why would you disagree with that?
Because what? Sorry, I'm talking over you.
Why would you say that based on the Hebrew and the sentence structure?
Because when somebody uses a present tense, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's happening at this moment. Somebody can, like, for example...
That's what present tense is. That's how language works.
I know.
Why would I try to refer to something in the past or in the future by saying right now?
Because they didn't say right now. You just
did say right
false.
now.
No, they didn't.
Currently present. That's what present tense is.
Yeah, that's what
that means it is presently happening.
I hear you about the present tense part, but I don't hear you about the right now part.
That's what present tense means right now, man.
Yeah, but you said that they said right now.
They did.
They said
Alma hara, the young woman. Pregnant and about to give birth to a son. That means this young woman who is pregnant right now is about to give birth to a son.
The point that you're making is that this tense used, the tense used in this sentence is present.
Yes.
But you said that they said right now.
That I'm saying that means right now.
Okay,
she is pregnant right now. That's what I'm saying. Yes, it is.
That's not what you said, but now you're changing what you said.
No, I'm not. This is all recorded, man.
Sure, you can go back and hear it, then replay it later. But
if I misspoke, I misspoke. But that's what I'm saying. It says right now.
You're saying it's okay.
This woman is currently pregnant right now. It's present tense.
You're saying right now because you're saying it's present tense. It's written in present tense.
Yes, Isaiah is speaking in the present tense.
Right, I agree.
No,
I trust you. Like, I trust you. Like, I didn't go look at the Hebrew myself and study it, but I trust what you're saying, that it's written in present tense. If something is written in present tense, and they're saying, you know, hine, like they're saying behold, and then they say something epic like that. That, even though they're saying the virgin is with child and is giving birth, it's kind of like a vision. It's a vision of the future. They're not saying there will be
No,
a
it's not. If it was in the future, it would say it's in the future
I
because
know,
it
but they're
uses
using
future tense in the sentence.
but they're using the word hine before
It
that.
says, by the time this child knows how to refuse evil and choose good, that's happening in the future. That means by this time, when this time comes, that's what it's saying there. It doesn't do that in that part.
If somebody says
This is
behold,
about the young woman who is pregnant right now, is about to give birth to this child. And
no,
before this child knows how to refuse evil and choose good, that's putting that part into the future.
no.
Yeah.
Even if
Okay.
there was a woman that gave birth, it's not that she was a virgin, is my main thing.
Yeah, she wasn't a virgin, clearly.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that Mary wasn't a virgin.
It means there is no prophecy in the Hebrew Bible about the virgin birth of a Messiah. And it means when that Matthew and Luke quote this verse and say that's what it's about, it means they are lying.
I hear you. I don't agree. I don't think they're lying. I do think that it
Well,
doesn't
do you
necessitate.
think they're just mistaken?
No, I think that you're reading it and you're saying it needs to mean this when the meaning is open.
I'm saying there says it means this. We can just read it, and it clearly doesn't mean that.
No, see, that
So
clearly
they're
doesn't.
either sadly mistaken or they're lying.
Yeah, you're saying that it has to mean this, and that's where I disagree. Like
It
you're
has to mean
saying,
there's a virgin birth of a Messiah, doesn't it?
for example, how you said hine needs
Wait a
to
minute.
be.
So if Matthew says, this says a virgin will conceive and give birth to a son, and Jesus is fulfilling this prophecy, that means there has to be a prophecy about the virgin birth of a Messiah, doesn't it?
Yes, but you're saying that the Hebrew words are saying hine, which means that it's a physical thing right in front of you. That's where I
Yeah.
disagree.
It doesn't matter. You can totally take that word out. It makes no difference. It still just says the young woman is pregnant and about to give birth to a son. Whether it
It's
says
like
look or not is irrelevant. That's just part of it.
it's not irrelevant because then it takes
There's
the present.
nothing in there about a virgin or a Messiah. It is not about that. It never suggests that. That's how I know Matthew is lying. And I know they made it up. They made it up. They had to have, because there's only 2 birth stories in the entire Bible, and they're both completely different from each other. They made them up. They don't appear anywhere else. And they're not based on a real prophecy, so they're clearly made up. They knew they were lying.
Oh my gosh, this is really like, I don't know. It's like you really believe that that's a lie. Like you really think that this is
It
all
is a lie, and it's clear. I don't understand how it's not clearly a lie. At minimum, you should say, yeah, there's definitely something clearly wrong here. Because it doesn't say what the New Testament says it says.
But you're referring to like when they say hine, and therefore, and now you're saying it needs to be a physical thing. It can't be like a behold, here's a vision that I'm having of a virgin.
Look, like I said, you can completely take that word out. If you completely took it out of the Hebrew, it would still say the young woman is pregnant and about to give birth to a son.
But
it would just not be saying, look at her. That's the only difference.
You cannot take it out because it's in there and it's been approved.
I know it is. I'm not trying to take it out. I'm just saying it don't matter. Your point is moot, is what I'm trying to explain.
I'm not saying that you're trying to take it out. I'm just saying like you can't just like change the word like because you were like, oh yeah, even if you remove.
How come you're so on to me about one word, but you're not about the 5 words that the New Testament changes?
No, it's not you specifically. Like I'm not talking about you as a person. I'm saying like the idea of. Like, I mean, it's the idea, okay? It's the idea of, like, really believing that God is evil and, like, wants to, like, it's such an evil God. Like, that's...
God like, is evil, but that's irrelevant here. I'm saying the New Testament is lying about this prophecy.
Dude, if God was evil, then why did he make us?
If God's not evil, then why does he set innocent children on fire?
God makes children.
So he can set them on fire, and that's not evil to you?
I don't know what you're talking about, but I know that God makes children. all children.
Yeah, and he kills them too. That's why I'm saying he's evil. He's evil because he kills children. He has women raped. He allows slavery. He says you can beat slaves.
Is there a reason? Okay, God made children and women and men and everything. He made all the things and everyone.
Yeah.
So why are you saying he's evil?
Because he sets innocent children on fire, and I think that's evil.
God sets children on fire?
He orders them set on fire, yes. Innocent children.
He ordered a child to be set on fire?
Yes.
Where?
Joshua chapter 7.
Okay, let me see where you're saying
so when we go read this, and God, when I clearly show you that God orders children set on fire, you're going to be like, oh shit, you were right. God is evil, huh?
God is not evil.
If I show you a verse where God sets an innocent children on fire, you're going to say God's evil, right?
I don't.
You seem to be denying that this is in there. So if it is in there, does that mean God's doing something evil?
If what is in there, because there could be at least two.
If
different
God
things.
orders children set on fire,
but is it because of people sinning, or is it because of no sin, or
it's because a guy stole a robe? So God orders that him and his children be set on fire for this crime, and they are.
Okay, I want to see that. So what's the
I will show you that. Timothy? I would love to show you that, actually.
Is it Timothy?
But first, I'm going to need you to say, once we go and read this, and that's clearly what's happening, you're going to then say God is evil for that,
right? God is not evil. But
if God sets innocent children on fire, God's not evil for that.
It's not even just setting children. Setting a man on fire is not okay.
Okay, well, he's clearly ordering children set on fire here. So
what's the book?
And a man.
What's the book?
Joshua chapter 7.
Okay. Joshua. Sorry, I said like Timothy.
What's the point in going and read it?
There's a point.
You're not going to call him evil for it.
Because I want to see what is said for myself.
What difference does it make? You don't think he's evil for it?
I never said that setting a man on fire is not evil. But hold on, let me see here. Joshua.
That's why I'm asking you the question. If we go read it and that's clearly what's happening, will you then call God evil for that? Will you say, yeah, that was an evil act?
Dude, I guarantee you, if somebody set a man on fire today, that's the worst sin in the Catholic Church. Okay.
I know. So if God orders that done, which he did, and that's why the Catholic Church burned people constantly, like Giovanni Bruno.
What are you talking about?
Then that's evil, right?
The church does not teach or believe in burning people.
The church burned Giovanni Bruno, the Catholic Church. They burnt him alive for suggesting that the earth circled the sun.
The church burned a man, or sinful?
Giovanni Bruno, yeah, look it up.
Or was it sin that resulted?
Giovanni Bruno suggested that the earth went around the sun, and the Catholic Church burned him to death for it.
Can I go look it up really quick? Like, it's gonna make my screen. Okay.
Sure, but let's do the God setting the children on fire first. Damn it! How do you not know who Giovanni Bruno is, man? Hell, they burned Joan of Arc. Certainly he's heard of Joan of Arc.
Okay, Giordano Bruno, and it says that the Vatican expressed regret in 2000, the year 2000.
Yeah, they expressed regret for burning the guy alive, yeah. way after the fact, yeah.
But that's appalling to me that even happened. Like, just the idea.
It should be appalling to you. It's ridiculous.
It is not only ridiculous, it is inhumane, and it is like monstrous.
Well, you're about to be real mad at God.
I'm at Joshua, but which chapter?
Joshua chapter 7, verse 15.
15. Okay. 15.
That's what I was saying. Like, we've been talking a long time now, but when we originally started talking, I said, man, it really seems like you hate your religion for this stuff.
Whoever is designated as having incurred the ban shall be destroyed by fire with all that is his, because he has transgressed the covenant of the Lord and has committed a shameful crime in Israel.
Yep.
Well, God. Okay. Well, you believe in hell, don't you? I mean, I believe in hell. So hell is
I
burning.
mean, I don't believe in none of this, but
Well, hell is burning people alive. So I mean, it's the
yeah.
same
And then
thing.
it says, if you go down to 24, it says, then Joshua and all of Israel with him took Achan the son of Zerah with the silver, with the mantle and the bar of gold, with his sons and his daughters, with his oxen and his donkeys and sheep and his tent and all that he had, and they brought them to the valley of Achor. And Joshua said, why did you bring trouble on us? The Lord is bringing trouble on you today. And all of Israel stoned them to death, and they burned them with fire and cast stones on them.
Yeah. Well, hell is real, and this is like hell on earth right there.
Well, this is God ordering him and his children set on fire.
Well, God allows
and they
people
do it. Joshua
God,
even says right before they set him on fire, they say, the Lord's bringing trouble on you today. And then they burn him to death.
Yeah. Well, God allows hell to be real. There is actually a hell.
You know, God would have ordered that the church burn Giovanni Bruno, right?
Then why did they express regret?
They expressed regret centuries later because they felt bad about it later.
If you said God would have ordered, then why is the church saying, oh, that's not true? Or that's not right?
Are you saying God wouldn't have ordered that?
I mean, if the church is expressing regret, that means
certainly not out of his spectrum, is it? Dude, they burnt him in like 1500, and then in the year 2000, 500 years later, the church expresses regret. And you think that's some kind of apology to the guy?
I mean, it's
500 years after the fact.
It shows that they regret it. The church regrets it.
500 years after the fact.
I mean, it's still.
Did it take them 500 years for God to reveal this was wrong?
I don't know. People are sinful. People don't listen to God. People don't understand.
The Catholic Church is sinful because they're burning folks alive for science.
It's not sinful if you're saying sorry. Like, it is sinful, but it's
not sinful if God orders you to do it.
Well, if God tells you to do something, then you do it. You don't ask questions.
Exactly. So when God tells you to rape those women and kill those babies, you get your ass up and do it.
God never said. Are you now
going to say God wouldn't do that? God don't say that.
He never said to grape people.
Oh boy, you really need to read your book, man, because this is terrible. God does command rape, and it's not even rare. He does it several times.
So he commands someone to sleep with someone else's woman?
Yes.
Okay. Well, if God says to do it, I can
tell you 3 different stories about this right now, just off the top of my head.
I'm not saying that that's okay because it's not. You can just look up in the Catechism of the Catholic Church. It is not okay to sleep with someone else's wife.
You said if God tells you to do something, you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, if God tells
So when God tells them to go do that, and he does do that in the Bible, and it's clearly written that he tells them to do that, it's not even up for debate. That's God telling you to go rape people.
If it's truly God saying it.
Is it God in the Bible doing the talking to Isaiah?
Yes. So then if it really is
it God talking to Zechariah?
Yes.
Is it God talking to Samuel?
Yes.
No, then it's God commanding rape. Isaiah chapter 13, verse 3, I myself have commanded my consecrated ones. I have summoned my warriors, my proudly exulting ones, to execute my anger. Whoever is found will be thrust through, and whoever is caught will fall by the swords. Their infants will be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses will be plundered, and their wives raped. See, I am stirring up the Medes against them, who have no regard for silver and do not delight in gold. Their bows will slaughter the young men. They will have no mercy on the fruit of the womb, and their eyes will not pity children. And Babylon, the glory of the kingdoms, and the splendor and the pride of Chaldeans will be like Sodom and Gomorrah when God overthrew them. That's God literally commanding rape and baby murder. Says it straight up.
Well, if anyone did any kind of graping or unaliving today, that is completely.
What about back then when God ordered them to rape people? Was that okay then?
That was
okay
God.
Just because we wasn't alive then?
Well, that was God that said that because it's in the Bible and it's true. And God is also the one. Rape. God is also no. What do you mean by grape? You mean sleeping with somebody else?
Rape. He commanded them to go and rape. It says their children will be dashed to pieces before their eyes, their houses plundered, and their wives raped. That's God commanding them to go
No,
rape.
he says they will be. That's not commanding.
Okay. It says, I myself, I read you the part. I read it. It says, I myself have commanded my consecrated ones. I have summoned my warriors, my proudly exulting ones,
Hold on.
execute my
I just don't want to
anger.
waste. I just don't want to waste your time and ask you to say it again. Can you please tell me where so I can go there?
That was in Isaiah chapter 13.
Okay, 13. Thank you. Because I don't want to
read verse 3.
I don't want you to just say it, and I'm not following you. I don't want to waste your breath. Okay,
No, it's all
Isaiah.
right. While you're looking for that, we'll read Zechariah 14. It says, See, a day is coming for the Lord, when the plunder taken from you will be divided in your midst. For I will gather the nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses will be plundered, and the wives and the women raped.
Yeah, will be. That's not commanding.
This is God giving a prophecy that he is going to summon armies and have women raped, man.
Don't you understand that sin is real?
Don't you understand this is God commanding these things? Whether it's a prophecy or not or happening, he's commanding the rape. He's saying it's going to happen. It's a prophecy.
Oh my goodness. So
he's declaring this. He says, I have commanded my consecrated ones.
That's not the same thing.
It is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. You're in denial.
If I told you in the future your family will be hurt, whatever, that's not me commanding it.
I have commanded my consecrated ones. I have summoned my warriors, my proudly exulting ones, to execute my anger. They come from a distant land, from the ends of the heavens, the Lord and his weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole earth. Well, for the day of the Lord is near. It will come like destruction from the Almighty. You're telling me this isn't God taking credit for this?
Okay, so I'm already at Isaiah. Which chapter?
Chapter 13. I just read a whole bunch of it.
Sure. And which verse or verses?
Start at verse 3.
3. Okay. Here we go. So I'm just going to start from the beginning because it's so close. Babylon, an oracle concerning Babylon, a vision of Isaiah, son of Amoz. Upon the bare mountains set up a signal, cry out to them, beckon for them to enter the gates of the nobles. I have commanded my consecrated ones. I have summoned my... Wait, this is not God speaking, isn't it? Isaiah or...
Who speaks through prophets?
God.
Congratulations, it's God.
Yeah, but okay. I have commanded my consecrated ones. I have summoned my warriors, eager and bold to carry out my anger. Okay, so it is God then. Okay, listen.
Yeah.
Listen, the rumble on the mountains, that of an immense throng. Listen, the noise of kingdoms, nations assembled. Do you see how he's saying listen, listen? I'm just going back to the hine part. Like if somebody says listen or hine, it doesn't mean that it's necessarily happening at this very second. Even if they're using...
this is a prophecy. This is a proclamation against Babylon.
So even if they use present tense, okay, anyways. Let's go
it's
back
weird that I'm calling this a prophecy about something that will happen based on the language, and I'm calling the other one what it was, a present tense.
But both of them are using present
I'm the one
tense.
who's acknowledging the actual context here, not you.
I'm just saying, when you were talking about the tense of the language, you were like making a claim that it needs to be happening at this very second.
When it's present tense, it does. When it says it's in the future, that's future tense.
Okay. Well, that's not how it works. And
it is how it works. That's called language.
It's not that simple. Okay.
It is that simple.
Listen, the rumble on the mountains, that of an immense throng. Listen, the noise of kingdoms, nations assembled. The Lord of hosts is mustering an army for battle. So it sounds like just because it says, I have commanded my consecrated ones, that you're somehow connecting that to graping?
Yeah.
Show me where. I want to see it.
Keep reading.
Okay. The Lord of hosts is mustering an army for battle. They come from a far-off country and from the end of the earth, of the heavens. The Lord and the instruments of his wrath to destroy all the land. How?
I didn't hear that part real good. Whose weapons of indignation is coming? How does that belong to?
The Lord and the instruments of his wrath to destroy
Oh,
all
okay.
the
So it's
land.
the Lord's wrath being executed here. Just to be clear.
Because
All right,
because
go
of
ahead.
because of people sinning. Howl
Right.
for the day. Yes, sin is real and it's bad.
This
Howl
ain't
for.
about sin, but whatever.
Then why else would he have wrath?
It tells you why.
Okay. Howl for the day of the Lord is near. As destruction from the Almighty it comes. Therefore,
Where's the destruction coming from again?
From the Almighty because of sin.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Didn't he destroy with a flood?
Yep.
Okay. From the
I'm just
Almighty.
making sure we're acknowledging where this is coming from.
Yeah, God has the complete right to
All right,
punish
so
sin.
now that you know this is coming from God, we can move on to him having the women raped and the baby's brains bashed
That's
out.
not that he said to go grape people.
The denial that is so thick here that it's unreal, man.
God punishes evil, but he doesn't tell us to.
I have commanded my consecrated ones to execute my anger.
Excuse me.
God is commanding them to execute his anger. And he tells a whole bunch of stuff that they're going to do when this anger is executed. This is God talking this entire chapter, right? This is God saying that these things are going to happen, isn't it?
Saying that they're going to happen is not the same as commanding
It's
it.
the day of the Lord, man. This is God's wrath. This is God's anger. It says it in verse 6. Well, for the day of the Lord is near. It will come like destruction from the Almighty. Cruel with wrath and fierce anger. The day of the Lord is coming.
Yes.
This is the day of the Lord. The day the baby's brains are bashed out and the women are fucking raped. And you're telling me, you're going to tell me right now that this isn't coming from God.
You claim that God commanded people to be raped. You claimed the wrong thing.
Dude, you really need to go read this because you look like a fucking idiot right now.
I have it open.
How many times do we have to read that God is fucking commanding this before you understand it?
He's not commanding grape.
Do you want to read it again? Here, let me read it one more time.
Yes, I do.
It says, I myself have commanded my consecrated ones. I have summoned my warriors to execute my anger. What is happening here?
That's verse 3, but then you're referring to verse...
I know that, and it goes on for many more verses to say this is about to be really, really bad.
It says here, their infants shall be dashed to pieces in their sight. Their houses shall be plundered, and their wives ravished. That is not God commanding.
Read verse 17.
That is showing the horror of
verse
what's
17.
I am stirring up against them the Medes, who think nothing of silver.
Oh, wow. I am stirring them up. So God has stirred them up against these people, hasn't he?
I am stirring up against them the Medes, who think nothing.
You're blaming the hitman and not the one who hired them.
It's because of sin.
It was the hitman who committed the murder, not the one who hired him, right?
I understand what you're saying, because he's saying, I am stirring them up. I understand what you're saying.
He is saying he's commanding them. This is the day of the anger of the Lord. It is coming cruel with wrath and fierce anger. The Lord's anger.
Yeah.
This is all happening because God is mad and he is commanding these people to go do this.
He's stopping his prevention of these evil things.
Oh my God. All right. I'm done with you, man. The denial here is unreal. But I appreciate you coming up and talking this long. You've been cool, but you need to go deal with this in your own head or something, because this is just bad, man.
Well, God can stop. He can prevent evil, and he cannot prevent it.
And he doesn't. That makes him an evil piece of shit. If you can stop someone from being raped and you don't, you are a piece of shit, aren't you?
Well, free will allows us to do it.
As a man, if you saw a woman being raped in an alley, would you do something?
I'm not God.
Would you do something or not?
I'm not God.
Would you do something?
Dude, if I saw a woman being hurt like that, we have to stand up for her.
Exactly. So why the fuck won't God stand up for these innocent women being raped here? When he obviously can do it, can he? He's capable.
Yes. He's removing.
He let women be raped when he could have stopped it. He is garbage. Garbage.
He's removing his his protection or whatever because of the sin. Well, thankfully there is eternal life, and despite all this evil.
Hey, if you want to go spend eternity with that piece of shit, that's your business, man. But I will pass. I do not want to hang out with your raping fucking god for one goddamn second, much less eternity. Anyway, good lord, man, that was crazy. Anyway, holy shit. I seriously doubt anybody else is still here, but yeah, I couldn't take it anymore. I mean, like, oh shit,
Oh, what's up?
7? Hey, what's up, man? Are you a Christian?
I don't know why I accidentally joined this to me. I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries. That happens all the time, actually.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No worries, man. Yeah, sorry, choked on myself. Somebody said, "Now Dr. Josh shows up." He's been here for a while. Dr. Josh talked to him. It was something. I don't think so. Oh shit! JNC, you there? Yeah. I don't think that's on purpose.
Hey, man.
Durango, do you want to say more things?
Yeah, well, I hope he's maybe still here listening. If he's not, it's okay. But anyways, I did a little bit of extra studying while I had a second, and I looked into this, and there are two different views on that particular verse, and the one view is of as like a spatial directive, and that is like it's talking about something that's happening in that room directly. And then the other opposing view is that is hello.
Yeah, go ahead. I was gonna invite Josh back
Okay.
up real quick.
Yeah, the opposing view is that that the verse is talking about like everybody in that's like being spoken to at that moment coming under some kind of like vision, and they're seeing this thing that's happening in the future. And the prevailing view is that it's actually the spatial directive, that this is something that's literally occurring in this room at that time, that they are speaking about a woman that is standing there. The ha-ara, the ha is the indicator that this is like spatially speaking about, like in this space. Right now, we're talking about somebody that's standing right here.
Yeah, the
Because
young woman, right? Look, the young woman. The verb goes first, or subject, or whatever.
Because it's the young woman, and the use of the in that like way has always like really kind of directed it towards being this spatial kind of thing where that person is there.
I've heard there's a little bit of some sort of scholarly reinterpretation of that word there, but Dr. Josh, I would think when that. What do you think, Dr. Josh? Was the B'nai, was that saying put your eyes on this physical woman right now?
So I'm just coming back. What are we talking about?
The Hine in Isaiah 7:14.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, we'll learn about this. I think it's third semester. Hine, if you, sorry, you guys probably know this, but in case there's somebody that doesn't in the audience, Hine that's usually translated in the Old King James as "behold." So everywhere you see it, it's like "behold, behold." But Hine is like it's actually quite versatile, and it's going to depend. It's the nuance that it's going to take is going to depend on the context. So it's a lot like the English word "look." So, like this sentence, actually, I'm tempted to pull up my book and read the section of the examples that I give because I gave them some thought. But like if if I say, if my one of my 5-year-olds is crying because she wants mommy to come home, and I say, look, mommy's going to be back in just a second. The look there is very different from, look, there's mommy in the driveway. Right? Both are trying to draw the attention of the speaker, of the listener. Like, look, mommy's going to be back soon. Like, pay attention. Mommy's going to be back soon. It's more nuanced than that. But, one can be direct immediacy. Like, look, right there. And it may not mean actually the imperative look, right? Like we could be sitting inside and I could hear the car pull up and I could say, look, mommy's home right now. And it doesn't mean like I want you to physically go look. It has this idea of immediacy. But it can have a wide variety of nuances. For example, when Ruth, in the book of Ruth, in chapter 2, I think it says, she went to glean in a field, and Hine, it was the field of Boaz. Like you would translate that Hine as like, and wouldn't you know it, it was, coincidentally, it was Boaz's field, right? Like it's the narrator is drawing your attention to something in that, in that context. There's like whole discussions about it in Lambden. Like he has a whole section on it. So here, though, you have a specific, and actually I should probably just look it up what it says in Gesenius. Just hang on a second, I'll pull it up. But
I can put it on there.
Let's see. Participles.
So when I hate using like Google AI or whatnot, but I find if I ask the right questions, I can kind of drill down on good information quickly. And maybe I'm wrong about that, but from what I looked up, the prevailing consensus on that particular like use of hine in that is that it is like talking about, and I'm sure that you'll have your own view as well, Dr. Josh, but the prevailing consensus is that it's talking about like a spatial directive, like that it's saying, hey, look here, look right here, the woman. But that was what I looked up, and that's what I found.
Yeah, and I think in this context, that's precisely what's going on. The other thing that I think is really telling is the use of the participle. So there are like some main grammars that scholars will cite, Hebrew grammars that scholars will cite. Gesenius is one. It's like from 1910. Waltke O'Connor is another. Joanna Maroka is the third. Those are the three big ones that people cite. And they're just, they have all kinds of details about Hebrew grammar. But so Gesenius in, what section is this? Section 116. He's talking about the use of participles with like, and like what they can indicate. And referencing Isaiah 7:14, he says, sorry, I'm just getting down to it. Yeah, where are you? There it is. Okay. So this is section P of 116, to announce future actions or events. And third verse, okay. But especially often when the subject is introduced by hine, especially also if the subject be attached as a suffix to hine. So like hineni, behold I, behold you, hinecha. if it is intended to announce the event as imminent or at least near at hand and sure to happen when it is called, and then the Latin there for instant future, and it cites, amongst other passages, Isaiah 7:14. So if you look, let me just look at you on the screen. Oh, you took it off the screen there. But you have Hine. That Hine is, yeah, you see it there.
Is this word right?
Where you at? Yeah, right at the end of the first line, Hine.
Get my finger up there. Here we go.
Yep, right there. So behold, you know, like it's what Gesenius is saying here is hara, the yoledet are both participles. And so it's saying this isn't, he's citing this as an indication or an example of immediacy, like immediate future. So this will often get translated as, behold, the young woman is pregnant and is about to give birth. That about is trying to work in that idea of immediacy. Oh, and there it is right there. Yep. See, is with child and is about to give birth. That's trying to work in the nuance of Hine.
Yeah. That's basically what I told the guy. I said, you can look in a lexicon and it might say it's used in a different context. That's why you have to use the sentence that it's put in to derive what it's talking about. And that's what I was saying here. The context is demanding that you read this as, look at that young woman. She is currently pregnant and about to have birth.
Yeah. So a lot of this stuff is going to, the philology here is just going to be looking at a variety of examples and trying to determine what it means. But I think, and I'd want to go look at all the secondary literature on this, but I think you're pretty safe to say that scholars are going to see this as immediacy. Like, it's not talking about, like, the immediate context here is not Isaiah saying in 700 years there's going to be this woman, right?
Right.
That's not what's going on here. So.
Yeah, exactly. But. Exactly. Yeah, that's all we was wondering. We had a whole spiel with the other guy about the word bene. He was saying it didn't mean look right now.
Oh, I got you.
Look right at her or something. It was held up on that one.
I gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it is very similar to the English word look. I'll send you, if you want, Abe, I'll send you that page from my books. You can kind of look at how I explain it. Might help.
Oh yeah, that'd be interesting. I actually saw, I guess it was Dan McClellan who was talking about it in the Senate structure, saying it was kind of revisited or whatever from the King James Version and all that, or the lexicon and stuff.
Cool.
It almost seemed like for a second that he was considering what we were at. He was actually considering what we were saying, and then his cognitive dissonance kicked into overdrive, and he couldn't help himself. He had to try to wiggle around what was being said there by using the word in a different way that wasn't being used in that context.
Yeah, he had it bad too, but I kind of felt with the guy because I could see happening to him what had happened to me before, and I didn't recognize it at the time either, which I do now in hindsight. But literally the same thing. Like, the truth is right there, staring you in the face, and you know something's off, but you can't put your finger on it. It's just I've been there. I've done that more times than I care to admit. But I feel like that's what he was doing, and I kind of felt bad for him, honestly. That's what we do here is try to come out of this, I guess.
Well, guys, I gotta drop down, but I appreciate you having me up.
No worries. Thanks for coming up and telling us that.
Of course. Take care, y'all.
Yes, sir. The brilliant brain of Dr. Josh. He always helps us out with he can squash the matter.
The other part of that, like, maybe he probably doesn't realize, is that when in in the New Testament, whenever they're talking about this particular verse, they were reading it in the Greek Septuagint, which does use the word Parthenos, which does mean virgin, which is a mistranslation of the Hebrew. So, I mean, I can maybe see how
Well, you know,
Matthew.
even Parthenos doesn't get used to explicitly refer to virgins, even in the Bible. It does put way more emphasis on virgin than Ha does. That's for sure. But
Right.
I think in the Septuagint, when what's her name? I think it's Dinah. When Dinah gets raped, it calls her a Parthenos, but she's obviously not a virgin because she's been raped.
Right.
So I mean, even then
Maybe it
they
means more
goofed it even
like
worse.
uh, incel, or like.
Oh, I guess. Yeah, I do know it's used to refer to virgins. It is used for that, where you won't really find, I don't think, ha-alma or alma used to refer to a virgin ever, which
Right.
Parthenos
It just
does. So we'll give them that. So.
kind of makes me wonder if in the Greek tradition, like if somebody is raped, they don't consider that person to have lost their virginity because that was not of their under their own will, like it was not there. It makes you kind of wonder if that's maybe the reason why there's that distinction between the languages. But I can maybe see under those circumstances where the author of Matthew maybe wasn't lying, but so much just misunderstood the text that they were reading and saw that as a sign. But any which way, none of it actually really happened. It's all a bunch of bullshit.
Hey, Norbert, are you there? Norbert? Hello, Norbert. I don't think Norbert's here on purpose. Who else requested it? Oh, it's Godwin. What up, Godwin?
Hey, Ape. Hey, Durango. How are you guys doing?
Oh.
Oh, good. You can hear me. Yeah, Durango, this was to what you were talking about. So when they translated for the Septuagint, at the time, the meaning of the word, I'm sorry, I'm at work and I just got sidetracked. What was the word for, not Alma, that's the Hebrew, but what's the Greek word again?
Parthenos.
Oh, Parthenos. It took on different meaning later. So what happened was kind of like the word gay. It meant happy at one time and has different meaning now. The meaning of Parthenos originally was just young woman, but because of the culture of Greece and the Greek culture at the time, wherever it spread, I learned this from watching, Justin Deconstruction. Probably learned it from Dr. Josh. Somebody important who knows more than I. That
both
their
credible.
Culture, right? Their culture was such that at the time that the Septuagint was written, the meaning had changed to, because anyone who was that young was typically a virgin. So they just used to call them Parthenos anyways. So when they interpreted it, they made the mistake. They could have been trying to twist the words. I mean, it could have been just their religious culture as well, but their just general societal culture led to them mistranslating that to mean virgin when it got translated to English. Yeah, that's what I had been told, and that's what I have heard, and it makes the most sense because we do. I mean, we atheists now believe that a lot of it, the interpretation was done deliberately, and we could see it in certain areas. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. There's certain areas where the King James deliberately changed the meanings or put words in.
Oh yeah. Pretty
politicized.
I mean, that one, they make the biggest boo-boo in any translation ever, in my opinion, and that was putting Easter in the place of the Passover. That was a major, major fuck-up, in my opinion.
Right. I mean, what's their apologetic for that? I mean, that's pretty damning, but have you heard for apologetics for that one?
I have no idea. No, I've brought it up to people several times, and they just say, "Yeah, that's pretty bad." So I don't know.
Hey, fellas, I got to drop. It's always good talking to you. I'll be listening. I'm around.
Yeah, have a good one, B.
Good to see you, man. I got to drop too, Abe. Hope you get some opposition up here. And that was a great long conversation you had with that Catholic-ish guy.
Yeah, that's pretty rare. I hardly ever talk that long to one person, so it's kind of nice every now and then.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
But,
And you did a great job. I mean, you were just you kid gloves with him.
yeah.
And that's what he needed to hear. But you know what Durango said is true. Like he had two choices: either give up his religion or find another way. And he found another way.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, we'll have
All right, buddy.
we'll have to look up apologetic for the Easter thing. I've never even thought about that.
Yeah, that's a good one. Put that up on your
Would there
board
even
here.
be an apologetic for that? Let's see.
I bet you some of the big guys have apologetics for it. I'm not saying they're good. They never are.
Let's see.
Apologetics is a definite. My definition of apologetics is explaining. How did I say it? Making what doesn't seem true seem true.
Instead of shit. Okay, so it says, let's see. Defenders of the KJV explain this choice through historical English language uses, chronologically distinct context, and inherited translation traditions rather than a careless error.
That's lame. Well, I guess you got nothing. You got nothing.
It wasn't just a terrible mistake. Oh my god, that is fucking funny.
They explain it as like a sort of a cultural thing, but they don't say it's a mistake. They don't use the word mistake.
Wow. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, that's funny, but yeah, to me that's a major boo boo on their part. The worst ever, in fact.
Yeah, could you explain it again? So it has to do with when Easter actually is, right? Oh no, Easter doesn't exist yet. I forget what it was.
Well, yeah, Easter would have been around, especially in as an Anglo-Saxon thing. It makes perfect sense that it would have been in the KJV, which is a medieval British version of the Bible.
Yeah, what was the mistake? I'm sorry, what was the mistake? Could you repeat it for me in the
They say Easter instead of Passover. In Acts, they called the Passover Easter.
Yeah, whoops. Yeah, that is yeah. That definitely wasn't from the original language. Yeah,
it's basically the equivalent of them calling Christmas Halloween or some shit in the Bible.
Right. Or yeah.
Yeah, it's that
That's
bad,
awesome.
literally.
Good stuff, Abe. Thanks for doing what you do, man. I'll drop down.
Try, man. Thanks for the support, buddy.
You do well. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Thank you, man. Have a good one, Godwin. All right, so I've been rocking for 3 hours and 42 minutes, and I think I'm good. Or I think we can call it a decent episode here. So, guys, this is probably going to come back with a lead with this one tomorrow. I put it up at the end. We got a few requests, but I didn't get to them. But shit. Well, anyway, you know how it is. Fuck MAGA, fuck Trump, fuck slavery, Christian nationalism, and the horse they rode in on. Not really the horses, though. We love animals. Oops, sorry, I got a weird message here. Okay. Anyway, yeah, we're not God. We're not evil. We don't hamstring horses just because enemies rode them, because that sucks. Anyway, guys, much love, and we will catch y'all on tomorrow. We will continue the fight. Back again tomorrow, I reckon. So, guys, take it easy. Y'all have a great day, and we will see y'all around, I'm sure.